Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to today's like kind of just chatting, doing design, kind of Twitch stream design. Little tips and tricks maybe to help you level up your stream visuals. That's if you want to call them that. Your stream design assets, your branding maybe. So I'm going to do quite a few videos and see how they go with, just doing design and seeing how you could actually level up your branding, your brand design, thinking about that. Why do I do this? I do it because I do it every day, and I'm a user experience designer. Some people call it a product designer, product UX UI designer, design thinker. So I'm certified in design thinking. That you could actually get that kind of certification to do that. But yeah, I am certified in that, and human computer interaction as well, and how users of a product generally use your product on a day-to-day basis. So that's the kind of thing that I do day in and day out. But with my 15 years worth of experience being in the design industry is to give back, to streamers and help you start, looking at your branding and looking at your visuals and tips and tricks to, if you're just starting out as well, look just like me. If you're starting out and it is something that you're looking to do, then hopefully these videos will and streams will help you, do it. And able to do it yourself, because it is enjoyable when you do it yourself. It definitely is. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I wouldn't be doing it on a daily basis otherwise. So we're gonna basically today is kind of like I'm new to this and I'm new to the process of talking aloud when I am actually designing, because I end up going into some kind of like weird silent place. So I'll try and not do that as as I kind of go along. But yeah, so it's live. We're gonna make some mistakes. That's the beauty of it. I don't know why my webcam personally is a little bit blown out. Let's rectify that, because that's just gonna bug me. And I'm sure that it will bug you as well. I do have the blinds open. So yes, so let's start with, so I'm personally going to do this for my stream. Hello Leon, you okay mate? Nice for you to drop by, thank you. There, he's light, it is. Yeah, it's a bit different than like gaming, isn't it? I think like you want to do it this way, so yeah, a bit more light this time. Give it a go. But so with this is my branding. I'm still here. We'll change to this. So this is my branding. This is my own designs that I've kind of come up with for my stream branding. So this is, I use Infinity Designer, and the reason why I use Infinity Designer, not everybody has access to After Effects. I used your face cam for the first time last night. Hey, sorry I didn't stop by and see it. Oh mate, I'm sure people have clipped parts, so I'll definitely, well, I'll watch all of it actually. I will do that definitely. What was I saying? Sorry. So yeah, so this is my design. The stream is there. Nice. I should definitely watch it. So these are my assets. Sup, Proxy Riots, you're right, mate. Good of you to join. Good of you to join. I might close that blind just a little bit. It's slightly annoying. It might be better. So yeah, these are all my kind of branding ideas that I've put on, just laid out. Some of them are terrible. Some parts are missing assets. But that's the beauty of it. You have no idea. You just got to throw stuff at the wall and see if it actually sticks. So that's the kind of way I've been designing most of my whole life, is to get the rubbish ideas out and make it simpler for yourself. So these are the ideas that I actually had. A couple of days ago, I was just experimenting with them, and I went, you know what, I'm going to create some, because I'm going to need some for YouTube channels later on. So I'm actually going to just create some and use them, make them, design them simple, and use them in YouTube videos later on for how to tips and tricks to make your stream design better and help with your branding. I'm not a marketing person. I don't like marketing. Leave that to the professionals. I am not that guy. I'm the make your product kind of better, visually appealing, and just make it fun as well. So hopefully the tips and tricks help you do those as well. So what I was saying is these are my first initial ideas. But what I said, and I'm sorry, I do keep swapping and changing, and I do go back. So I'm going to try not to do that. Sorry, I have 2 dogs as well, and they are just bark sometimes for no reason at all. And I think there is supposed to be a delivery coming today, but if it is, they'll just ring the bell. Fuck it, I don't care. Anyway, God. So these are the ideas that I came up with. Off the top of my head, just moving some shapes around, and I wanted to keep it as clean as possible in the design. And then I kind of looked at them, and then I went, okay, well, do you know what? You can make these a little bit more better. So this is like part of the branding I had anyway, thought about with the image and everything like that for social media and for the stream as well. So I kind of redid like the lower thirds that actually just animate it in and give something a bit more visually pleasing for your users and viewers of your site or your YouTube video. So I wanted something like just plain and simple, and the reason for that being is I like clean design, and I think clean design helps. I mean, it is a user experience thing. It is basically, don't litter. There's no need to litter like half your stream with half of like irrelevant information, but I get it, and this is really subjective, and this is my opinion on it. It's really distracting, and viewers are there for content and good content, and whether they want to learn something from a streamer or they want to do a follow along or just chit chat and chill. I bet there's a certain level of interface design that kind of goes with each one of those kind of genres, and they're more playful and they're more engaging and X, Y, and Z. I'm more a clean, minimalistic UI designer, a traditionalist UI designer, a traditional medium, original background, and I want cleaner cut interface stream design for myself, is because it's easily transferable to other types of media, being YouTube or whatever other media platform that you want to go with, and they're easy to manage. And you don't want something so complicated, you move something and then later on you spend most of your day sorting it out because you've broken it. There's no need. I can't work that way. That is just how my brain works. So cleaner the better. So this is how clean it is. We're just going to have a simple follow. We can change the text, and it's Twitter. I'm just going to go Reaper's Lantern, and these boxes just animate in with revealing the text, and we'll snazz it up. But everything that I'm going to do is out of After Effects, and it's all out the box stuff. It's no third-party plugins. Third-party plugins are really handy if you do use After Effects and you want to churn out a lot of them and get paid for them, maybe, if that's your bag. They're good for that, but I don't use them because I'm, again, a traditionalist, and I like actually creating things manually for myself. But I have used third-party plugins, and they do benefit you if you're against a time frame and you need to churn something out for your marketing team, etc., etc. So they do really help. But today we're not going to worry about anything like that. This is out the box. This is no fancy plugins, no additional money. Even though After Effects is additional money, if you're lucky to have it, it's a great piece of software. If you don't, then there's obviously alternatives out there. But I will do a video on the alternatives and the benefits of each different one, because I've used a lot of them over the years, and I'm using After Effects because it's already part of the package that we get anyway. So I'm using that to help you learn, and we'll just do it, as I said, all out of the box, no third-party plugins, easy to do. Follow along, pause it, rewind it, watch the video later. It's entirely up to you. So we've also mentioned Affinity Designer over Illustrator. It's a price thing. It's a monthly fee thing. So Illustrator, you will be charged a monthly fee if you want to get Photoshop and Illustrator. And with Affinity Designer, it's a one-off fee, for life, and free updates. I mean, perfect. And I've grown to like Affinity Designer more than Illustrator. Reason being is I feel a bit more speedier in Affinity Designer than Illustrator. So Affinity Designer costs. We'll have a look. But I do highly recommend it. It's just a one-off fee. It is over here. It's for Windows $23.99 or Mac $23.99. I highly recommend it. Like, don't pay a monthly fee for something that you're not really going to use that much. It's really difficult, especially when you're starting out doing streams, and you've spent all that money on like getting your PC stream ready and doing your branding and every keyboards and mice and microphones and everything else. It comes expensive, and an expensive little hobby that you're going to get into, especially when you want to do streaming videos. So for your design package, just get something that's cheaper and it does exactly what it needs to do to get you started. There's no point forking out the money for Illustrator. After Effects, brilliant. Okay, Premiere Pro, probably need it. Like, as you start reaching a certain level, you're going to pay for that monthly subscription for those video editing bits of software. But when you're starting out, Affinity Designer, the beauty of it's like Photoshop. They do Affinity Photo as well, which is better than Photoshop. I always say Photoshop is the bloated old lady. That's no offense to bloated old ladies. That's just, it's grown so much with so much stuff in there. It's really difficult to navigate your way around half of it. You can't be dealing with that. So Affinity Designer lets you do two things. You can do pixel based, which is like Photoshop, and vector based, which is same as Illustrator. But Affinity Designer far better vector than Illustrator, my own personal opinion, but everybody's, it's each to their own. And because I cannot churn these assets out like every day, I find Affinity Designer for me easier to use. And if I want to do mixed medium, which I use vector and pixel based, and I'll try and do them together like shading. And Affinity Designer lets you do two things in the same software. You don't have to go out of Illustrator into Photoshop, from Photoshop to Illustrator, and so forth and so forth. It's a bit more fluid this way. So I prefer it. For 24 quid for the life, and you've got such a powerful bit of software. If you own an iPad as well, it's got Affinity Designer on iPad. I'm not affiliated by them. I just use their product, and it hasn't let me down. And I do use it a lot. So these are the assets that we're gonna create in After Effects. Simple, out of the box, no plugins, and we're going to use this image that I did for the offline banner that I created. We're going to use this as a reference. It's only used as a reference. It's nothing used for anything else. It's not used in the output of the video either. So in After Effects, we're going to click on New Composition, and we're just going to call it we're going to call it lower thirds. We're going to leave it at 1920 by 1080, which is the standard. You can use it 24 frames per second, and the background color, you can choose it whatever color you want. We are not going to, again, we're not using the background color or the image on that when we push the video out, when we render it out, because we want that on a transparent background. And the reason why we want it on transparent background, because we don't want any weird boxes behind it. So when we put it over the live stream or YouTube videos, it's just the lower third animation that we're going to see and nothing else. So we got our background in. So this is my branding, Reaper Lantern Blue. And then we're just going to pull it in the video. Basically, we're going to go back to Affinity Designer. We're going to click on the artboard that we created for the design, file, export it. We're just going to make sure we scroll to the top, and we're going to select selection with background and as a JPEG. And I already did this earlier, and I just called it template. So we're just going to override the one that we've done anyway. So again, we're only using this as a reference, and we're only using this for the design reference. So we are making it consistent and keeping to the idea and the design that we've come up with. So we need to put this into the project. So we're going to right click, we're going to import, we're going to click file, and then we're just going to find where it said template, which sometimes doesn't let you see all the files. It says all acceptable files, but we're just going to click on all files and you might see it. There it is. No, not starting soon. This is the beauty of design. You don't even know where you put half the assets that you just created. There we are. Well, we'll just use starting soon. It doesn't really matter. But it's the same principle. Oh, there we are, template. What a div. I'm going to drag the template into the timeline. So this is your timeline. We're going to select the lock so we can't move it anywhere. So that's the simplest thing to actually get you going, to basically keep you doing, just being consistent with it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create the text. Then we're going to create the white box. So let's just move this here. So all we're going to do is we're going to create the text. And we're going to create the white box, and we're just going to do this element first. So if we do it in little stages, we'll have a better idea how it's going to animate in, and we'll get more of a feeling for it. That's, again, personally how I work. I just do it bit by bit instead of chucking the whole sink and the toilet at it, and then hopefully having to spend too much time later on fixing what you're making a mess of. So that's all we're going to do. It's a simple thing. At the box. Maybe that's a tagline that I use. I don't know. What we're doing. So in your lower thirds comp, because it's called lower thirds comp, because that's when you started clicking on new comp, you gave it a name, and that's where it lies. So when you're actually in here, it says lower thirds, and that's the image that we dragged in. And we've also just locked it so we can actually just do a little animate over this. So in this section, we're just going to click new, and then we're going to click text, and we're going to put some text in there, and then it's going to just say follow. And there it is, as small as anything, under my chin, because that's how we wanted it. So over the right hand side, we'll see where character is, and you'll see the font that is ours, which is Montserrat. That's the font that I've chosen for my branding, and we've got it set to bold. And it's 14 at the moment, so we just increase the size of it. We don't need to at this present moment. We don't need to how finesse with the position of it. We can do that later, and I'll show you a tip how to move it around instead of moving all of them individually, and it will really help you because when I show you, it's see how valuable it will be for you to move stuff around and actually use this thing that I'll show you later on. It's not a secret. It's just to help you. It just takes away a lot of the pain, which I think is like a brilliant thing. But we'll go through it afterwards where we move it around. So we've got our text here which says follow. You can barely see it because it's dark. I'm just going to copy that. Right, so there we are, and follow, it's on white, so yeah, brilliant. So there's your text, which is just follow. And that's as simple as that. So we're just going to bring this, actually what we'll do is, because the beauty of this is making it up, we're just going to right click in there, it's going to go new, we're just going to add a solid color, which is the same background color there, but you can make it any color you want, but just for this purpose. And I've dragged it above the template, which is the image that we put in later. I'm going to hit T on my keyboard and just turn the opacity of it down. I'm just doing that just to not let that image in the background be that distracting. My bad. Are you using After Effects? Yeah. Hi Mark. Yes, I am using After Effects. Unfortunately, I'll try and do like a tip on how you can actually do it with another, other animation software, which I've used it anyway. So, but it is After Effects is what I'm using to do this. But I'll give you some hints and tips later on which other software you can use, as I said, because I'm pretty adverse with them, but they kind of follow the same thing. So it shouldn't be a hard transition, no matter what software you go into. Let's have a look, mate. So I'm looking for help to make a banner for my channel. Could you give me some recommendations? It also depends. It's obviously whatever you want to go with. You're going to pay money for, obviously. The best way. What's the banner for? Is the banner for YouTube? Is it for video media? Or is it just like a very simple animated like JPEG or GIF? Not JPEG, a GIF. Yeah, I'm more than happy for you. Yeah, you can just DM me, like, if you want me to have a look. I'm more than happy. This is what this channel is. It's to give you guys something back. And if you're going to get hints and tips from it, this is what it is. And if you want me to have a look at it, I'll look at it. I'm not biased. Anybody on this channel can say my artwork is shit or you shouldn't do it that way, which is, I don't mind. They are my ways of doing it, and that's the way I design, and it hasn't affected me over the years. So it's all subjective, and obviously there's always better ways of doing stuff, but I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for just to help you guys do it out the box, and something simple and something clean and something fun. And we will link these animations into Streamlabs. I use Streamlabs OBS, and now you can link them in and use a button to actually activate them and play them automatically. And you can add sound to them as well, and a message in chat. So we'll do that as well, which is kind of what I'm going to do anyway. So might as well show you what I'm going to do. Anyway, so we've got follow. I don't forget the full stop. It always helps, because I had it on the image. I just flick back between the image that I did the design on earlier and also that one. I am not. It's weird because I'm just at the moment I'm focusing on giving like design, UX, product design hints and tips and tricks, and I'm not like an expert at like every single genre of art and design. That's not who I am. I don't pride myself on that, which is it's just a bit silly. But I just design because I'm just a design nerd and I like design. But let me have a look at the page, and then we'll have a look and see what you had. If I can find you something cheaper to do, definitely I'll always find you something. I'm that guy. I'm just giving something back to the community. Like, I have a wealth of experience in design and product design and branding and stuff like that, and layouts and enterprise design and app design, and I know like how like things should feel to people that watch streamers and use their product. So I'm not blowing my own trumpet. but that's who I am. Anyway, we'll get back to this. So we've put some text in there. We've right clicked. We've added new, and we've added some. We've just added text, and the text is follow. So next thing that we need to do is put a white box behind it. So we're going to click new. We're going to click a shape layer, and nothing appears. But don't panic. It's just the way it happens. We have at the top, we've got fill and stroke. We're just going to make sure that we take stroke off this, and the fill, we can change the fill to white, and then over here we'll see add, and then we're just going to add a fill, which is the white that should have been added, which is red, and it's gone somewhere on the page. What in the world? So shape layer, add. We'll actually just make sure that we add a rectangle, because that's what we wanted to add, and then we just drag the fill under that. So yeah, so I'm just using a few programs, Photoshop, Lightroom, and one of my, let's have a look on my phone, but I'm not very good, but still watching. Tomorrow I'll buy After Effects. When you go, especially with Adobe packages, just make sure that you're only getting the ones that you need. So if it is Photoshop that you mainly use and you're comfortable in, and it's going to throw the kitchen sink at you, it's going to put InDesign in there, it's going to do like Premiere Pro, which probably if it's part of the package, brilliant. It's going to put like a couple of encoders in there, which is fine because they're free anyway. But don't let it throw like the kitchen sink at you. Like, you're not going to use half of them. Only pay for what you're going to use in. But if you want to just get it for After Effects, maybe there's a package. I haven't looked at the Adobe suite at the moment, but I'm sure they'll do like video editing, which is probably like Photoshop, Illustrator, and After Effects. So you can look at those definitely. No, it's it's one of those things where when it comes to hey Charlotte, you all right? Good, thanks for stopping by. When you when you start out, a lot of people, which is fine, I've done it, use Photoshop for all their branding. I'm not saying that's a wrong thing to do. I'm just saying that it's not in the foresight of what you're going to use that branding for. So, for example, if you create something in Photoshop that's small, this is just, right, that's like 400 by 400 pixels, and you do an icon in there that you want to use for your branding, and that's, it's only designed so small in Photoshop. You couldn't expand that and put that on a t-shirt print, or, put it in a high-res video or something like that, because you can only shrink down when you do it small. If you shrink above that, it gets all pixelated and it doesn't look visually appealing. But that's doing all icons or branding in Photoshop. I don't know anybody that does any branding in Photoshop. Photoshop is for photos and photo editing or digital painting, brilliant. But if you want to create something that it will expand as your business or stream grows, vector logos are the way forward, because you can animate them. You can animate stuff in the images in Photoshop, not saying that at all, you can do it. But if you want to create a brand, I've always done it in Illustrator, or I've always done it in I forgot what it's called, Affinity Designer. So because it's better to do it that way, because it's so expandable. Because you could go, do you know what, my business is doing so good, I want a billboard and I want my logo with my branding on there, and when cars drive past, you're not going to do that from a very small photo that you create in Photoshop. So you either going to create it huge and able to be scaled down for resolution or print. It's these kind of things that you kind of think about when you're doing a brand. There's a lot that goes into thinking of a brand and what it's going to be used for, what's longevity, because you're going to create this thing once and you only want to do it once, and it's going to last you a while. It has to last you a while, because if you're going to do a brand and not and change it every month, it's just not, your users are just going to be like, what? I don't think you've got any idea what you're doing. And like, keep changing the brand. We know people that do that, but they're not me. So no, I met Mark. You ask me anything, honestly. Do I have? I'm just going back. For example, the score that you've made cannot be done in Photoshop. Can it? Yeah, I think I answered that one. I've done that, and I did that purely in Infinity Designer. So the branding, the score was done in the this software. So this is all like vector based stuff, and it can just, you know what I mean. It can grow and expand. It can do whatever it wants, but I've done that in Infinity Designer. I originally did the idea. I did sketch it out on my iPad. I used some software to do that. And then I screenshotted the whole thing and then just placed it in Infinity Designer. And then I just traced it with some shapes and made the skull. Do you have a channel or something where you re-upload these streams? I don't actually. I am going to put in I'll just paste that in. That's just my artwork. That's just some that I've done in the past, so I put it in there. I haven't kept it up to date for a while because when I fell into user experience design, you don't want to be pasting like showing artwork of grey boxes and a lot of text because sometimes that happens. There's some other interesting stuff I could put in there, but I've gone to video because video is key, and I'm hopefully going to be putting stuff like this on YouTube, which is kind of like, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm not an expert at this, I'm a designer. I don't talk about how I'm thinking when I'm designing. This is like a whole new thing for me. So this is kind of like you guys are joining me, which is really nice, and ask me anything. That's why I'm here. Oh, when you press the link, it shows you an error. Oh, okay. Well, there's something bad. Okay, I'll just DM you maybe. Yeah, I'll DM you the links. I don't know why I'm clicking on them, but maybe that's because like I'm the monitor. But yeah, we'll sort it out so you can see like my profile and stuff. I'll put it on my homepage, which I've forgotten to do, which just reminded me. So thanks for that, man. But yeah, we'll sort it out, man. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Ask away. And yeah. So where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about. So yeah. So yeah, basically, if you're gonna do any kind of branding, do it vector-based starting. Do your ideas in Photoshop. Great for that. Drawing away, sketching. You're gonna get engrossed. You know what you want to go for. Well, hopefully you want to know what you go for. But if not, just put as many ideas down. I know I don't get this as well. Why most people say that they're not creative. Everybody's creative. You are creative. You know what you want. We're human. We know what we want. We know what the kind of look that we might be going for. I know it's difficult to actually say that you might not know that, but I'm the kind of guy that goes, okay, well, we'll put some ideas down on a piece of paper and kind of help you get what you want to get out of doing your design or your stream or your animations or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Your brand and how to make it better. When I press the link, thanks for this tips. They are very valuable. I want to be on the right track. Oh yeah, love it, Mark. Yeah, stop by. Thanks for the follow. I haven't put the alerts on this screen because I've completely forgotten, which is my bad. But I've only just seen that you followed. Yeah, please do. Stop by. I'm gonna do loads of these videos, and if they help, they help. But yeah. I'm here. I'm a no frills Ghana guy. It's just design or nothing with me. And if I can help you find like better programs, we'll do it. We'll find out better programs for everyone. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So yeah, let's still start here. This is how it works. This is how it works, guys. Yeah, I should have an Instagram. Yes, I have. I should have an Instagram. I know I have an Instagram. I set it up. Everything's just Reaper's Lantern. I've kind of bunched it all. There's a thing as well, especially when you're coming up with like your design or your branding. Don't call it many different names because people just won't have that seamless interaction. Like my Twitter is the same as my Twitch, and my Instagram is the same as my Twitch and Twitter. They're all the same. So it follows me everywhere I go. It's there lurking. Yeah, that's no problem, mate. I'm more than happy. That's why I'm here. We'll get it sorted. Now we know there's a lot of films on films. There's a lot of stuff on like YouTube. Like there's a lot of stuff like this, but we're going to try and do it different because when we're designing something together, and that's part of user experience. It's you want to you put in this design kind of forward, and it's got to work for you. It's got to work for your brand, and users of our product, or whether that's Twitch or whether that's YouTube and stuff like that, know the kind of their user base are people that want something on in the background, just to listen to. It could be the same as Twitch as well, which it is the same as Twitch. Excuse me, but it's the absorbing that information that it's absorbing all the information that you're giving to them, and these tips and tricks go a long way, and I don't see a lot of them. I've seen a couple that are actually there to actually help streamers, but especially new streamers. I'm a new streamer. I'm here to help. So I'm going to try and do that for you. I have notifications going on everywhere. I don't know what's happening half the time, but we're going to get back into it. We're digressing a lot. We want to get this kind of done in a speedy time frame. So we're going to try and create this in Photoshop, not in Photoshop, in After Effects. It's not that we're going to try, we are going to do it, and we're just going to hop into After Effects. So what did we do before? Just to recap on what we were doing. We imported the background that we've taken from our design mockup. We're using that as a reference. We've just dragged that in from our assets, project assets. We've added a solid on there to just tint it out just to stop the distraction. It's going to lock that as well. We've added some text. We've right clicked. We've added new. We've got text, and we've just added the text follow. We've actually increased the size of that text as well, just to make sure that you've got it selected. And you can increase the size of the font. So that's what we're doing here. Zoom in a bit. We've added a white text box because remember we've got this text at the back of here. So we're just going to drag what we're going to do to make everything fine and dandy and making sure that we don't look like divs is the fact that we're just going to add a title safe action. So we know where the center is. So if you just zoom out a bit. So this is title safe. Title safe zone. So he puts his grid up for you, so you know where the middle and everything is and where the crosshair is. So we're just going to put that somewhat in the middle. And we've got our box here that we created. We're just going to put that in the middle as well. So we want this to be the same as this. So white box, some nice spacing, equal spacing all the way around. So we're going to do that. So we've got our shape selected. And we're going to just twiddle this down, and we're going to twiddle it down again, and we've got size, and we're just going to unlink them so we can go like this. So we're just going to increase the width of this and also the height of this. Hey Charlotte, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. We're just going to move this. Just going to move this to the back, which is why you can't see the text because we've changed the text color, but we're going to give it the color that we've chosen here. So we're just going to select the text here, going to double click, we're just going to find the color of that text. We're going to tab back, and then we're just going to bung that in here. I might just put some music on in the background. You don't want to hear my droning, slightly bunged up face. Apparently this is safe to play. We might find out. Didn't even know how loud that is. Put my headphones on. Might be able to hear. That's fine. I'll make sure you guys are not having ears blown out everywhere. So yes, we've got a text behind that. Did I say China? I did I? You need to hey, we all need to make our stream better. I need to make mine better. This is what we're doing. We're just trying to make it better. We're trying to make it more engaging. So we've got that text. We've got a white box. We were just adjusting the size of this just to make it a little bit nicer. So this is it. So we've got our text. What we're going to do is going to select these two. We're going to click on the square boxes and we're just going to change the color of that. So we know we're going to put them red so we know that they are the background. We're not going to touch those. That's what we're not going to touch. So we've got our text and we've got a white background. So what we want to do is, ideally, this is what we're thinking. So the white box comes in and then the text kind of gets revealed. So we can do that really easily. Mine's not that awesome. Look, you know, we're doing it. We're making it more awesome as we go, but you're along for the ride as well. We're just doing something for my stream. But you can use it in your stream. But guys, if you think I'm good enough, then, you know, I'm good enough. So you guys say. So here we go. The text. That's the idea that we're thinking. We're thinking of it kind of animates in, and it does some stuff. But we'll figure what that stuff out is as we kind of go along. We're freestyling. So yeah, we got text. Here we go. Right. How do we do this? So first, we're gonna select our shape layer, and we're gonna call this just white box. Call it what it is. Don't be a typical designer. Don't do what I do. I've got bad habits. My bad habits are just calling everything Untitled 1, Untitled 2, Untitled 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's thanks for the like of the design. I think you get carried away though. This is the problem. I have OCD, so end up getting like things that find the same branding as you and the red cable, and you go. I just go mental, and I didn't do this on purpose. Right, check this out. I brought these glasses well before I started streaming. And I put them on this morning, and lo and behold, they've got red on the side. I mean, it's meant to be. I mean, come on. we got red glasses as well. And shit's cray. Untitled 1, yeah. I don't know how I find how. If I showed you my folder sorting, it's shocking. That's why it's kind of off screen, so you don't watch it. You don't look at it, because don't follow my bad habit. Like label stuff as you design. It helps. Untitled 120. You're like, well, I don't know what that is, but somehow you know. I don't know. Oh, I've got that many hard drives with that much stuff on there. I'm fine to go in there. You know, some really old design stuff as well. really old stuff. So we were going to animate this in. So what we were going to do, we were saying we were just going to animate it going in this way, I think. That's one of my dogs just growling behind. She's not angry. We've got 2 dogs. So one of them. She's got a comb. She's got the missus's comb. She's not going to like that. Stop it. Be nice. You can see one of them. Can you see it? That's Elizabeth. And that's Rosie. Elizabeth is the black one, and Rosie's the gold one. I let them just come in today. Why not? Your previous graphic design job, you sat there for like 8 a.m. in the morning trying to find my first project, and sat there for 20 minutes trying to find. Yeah. That's why you used to get. That's why every designer gets in early. You need at least 1 hour to find out. But you go, yeah, I can do that presentation for you in the morning. Don't worry, we'll get that video done for you. Yeah, that's fine. And then what you do is you end up like going, you can do the design. It's not a problem. But you forget where half your assets are. Yeah, Elizabeth had a haircut yesterday. You want to say hello? Come here. This is Elizabeth. This is what Elizabeth looked like. She's had a haircut. She's had more of a cocker spaniel cut. I'd say haircut. She's had. She's been hacked. And Rosie, you gonna come on? And this is Rosie. She's also a cocker spaniel. She's a working cocker spaniel. Well, she doesn't go to work. That's what they call them, a working cocker spaniel. Elizabeth is a. What's Elizabeth? She's a cocker spaniel, but she's a show cocker spaniel. She doesn't go into shows. She's like, yeah, she sounds like she wants to be put down, but every time you like cuddle her, she just groans anyway. She did it when she was a puppy. She just naturally grumbles at everything. So she's not being angry. She just goes, She just likes it. That's what she does. She likes it really. God. Yeah, we're going to animate this in. So we wanted it to go in something like this. This is what we were thinking. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our text white box. And we're going to animate this. So out of the white box, we're just going to press P, and we're just going to click on the stopwatch to animate, and it adds a keyframe in. So this is the keyframe. We're just going to pull this over just a little bit, and then we're going to go in a little bit to about there, and then we're going to take the left value and we're just going to pull it to one side. So when it starts, it just does that really slowly, which we don't want it really slowly. Just going to pull them together, pull the N1 together so it goes a little bit faster. I'll just speed it up just a little bit by pulling the keyframes closer together so it kind of like goes in like this. But we'll animate it and finesse in a bit. So we've added those 2 keyframes, so the box is off there and it slides in. But what we want to do is we want the text. We want the box to cut into the text to actually reveal the text, because at the moment you can just still see the text on the screen, and we don't want that. So there's a trick. What we can do is we're going to select the white box that we've just animated. We're going to click Control D to duplicate it, so it's got white box 2. We're going to drag that behind. It's going to change the first one to white box. We're going to call it alpha. And then it's going to call the back one just white box, just to make it more confusing for everyone. Right, so they're both, if you select both of the 2 white boxes, you can see they've both got the same keyframe on, so they both go in at the same time and they stop there, but we don't want that. So we're going to take our follow text and we're just going to drag it underneath the white alpha, and then we're just going to select Right, if you see this, with just these options, if you click toggle switch mode, you'll add additional options in. If you select alpha track map, select the white text, then go to alpha, what happens is when the text goes over it, you see it automatically clips everything that's off that. So that's what we want. So it kind of reveals on and then reveals off. The reason why we put the white box behind is because when it does go on, it comes up as that color, and we don't want that. We want it to do like what we said we want it to do. So we've got follow. So it comes in and follow. So that's how you get that on. She's always moaning when she wants to sit down. She is. You'll hear her bark soon. So it kind of animates on. So that's what we're kind of going for. So we've got follow, which is nice. We want to judge this up a bit. So we can still see the white box on there. So how do we get around that? So the best way to actually do it, what I do is select the three things. So we've got white box, alpha box. So select the three things, right click, then press, then find pre-compose. Pre-compose is just like a smart folder. I call it a smart folder. Pre-compose, we're just going to put follow because that's what it is. So we've pre-composed it. So when you double click into that, it opens up into the animation that you've just set. So if you show that animation, so if you select, if it's text or it's a shape layer, if you press U, then you always reveal any keyframes that you've set for that layer. So those are the keyframes, as you can see. It just goes on, which is identical to this. But we don't want that white box showing now. We want to be able to actually have that hidden as well. So we're gonna see if we can actually just do that. And the easiest way to do it, now that we've pre-composed it into our animation, so roughly about there is when it starts. So just dragging the timeline to where about it is. So roughly, yeah, so it's there. Then we're just going to select the rectangle tool. And when we actually drag out the rectangle, it's actually going to start clipping the white box that we've just created. Just going to pull that all the way over to the left. Just going to select those. And we're just going to pull that all the way over to the right a bit so it doesn't go that far. Now, because we've basically masked it, so anything that's in the box is visible, anything that's outside the box is getting hidden. So what we want to do is we don't want that to happen because that's just silly. We're just going to click invert. So what happens now is like the box now comes out of nowhere. So it just animates out, and that's what we want. Right, if you want to adjust the mask, make sure that you actually are on pen selection, and then make sure that you click on the mask. Why does it do that? If you click on the mask, you can actually change the handles. So if you just try and get it, that's probably, it's about there. Maybe a couple back, just use the arrow keys just to finesse that. So yes, it's gone. So yeah, so now we have this animation in. Exciting times. I just moved everything everywhere. So that's how we do that. So we want a better way for that to come in. So what I'm thinking is that we have some kind of, maybe some kind of line that goes up or it animates up or something. So we're just going to create that now. So we've revealed the text, so that's that. So now we're just going to go into our layers, going to right click, go new shape layer, and the shape layer we're going to do is we're just going to grab a pen tool and we're just going to create a line, a straight vertical line. Hold down shift and click again, it gives you a perfect line. Just going to add a stroke to that, and that's white is what we want. All right, stroke width. So click on the actual shape layer, which is called stroke. Stroke. Cool, stroke. we called it stroke, tilde the content down, and then go to path, and then and open that, and then it's not that path, it's that stroke. There we are. Is that one? Why have I got 2 strokes? Jesus. There we go. Right. Twiddle it down. Twiddle stroke down, and then you got stroke width. So we can play around with the width and try and get it somewhat identical. I'm just going to pull this up a bit. Keep your finger on shift, and you'll make sure that it's in line. So it kind of like starts there. Right, so that's where the animation starts. Let's just drag our stroke. And what we want to do is we want the line to kind of animate up in a way. So what I was thinking was, so we've got our stroke, it's a single line. We want to animate that up. So how do we do that? So we want to trim the actual path stroke. So in content, we're going to click add, and we're going to go trim paths. Twiddle that down, and it does this effect. So it trims that path. So it basically cuts it. If we do the opposite end, what is going on? So so it does that, but we don't want it to do that. We want it to do the other side. So what we need to do is put that. We put the end at 100 and the start at 0. Oh no, end at 50 and the start at 0. Well, 50 because that's the beginning. 0, no, 50. It's fine. There you go. I want it to animate up, so that's how we actually just do that by just adjusting the trim path start. So you start at 50, and then we're going to click the stopwatch. That's going to add a keyframe, which is there. It's going to pull that to there, and then that's where it starts, that's where it ends. So it starts at 50. We're going to move forward, and we're going to put it at 100. So it kind of does that thing. So we're going to offset this. Select them both. Press U. See the time frame. We might just offset this just a little bit. This stroke. I'm going to push it that way. So it animates up first, and it kind of evolves into this banner thing. So yeah, we're going to try that. Right. Maybe just push it a bit more forward. Just play it. It comes on too slowly, but we're going to push those a bit further together. We're going to make it a bit more interesting by putting some better like ease on there. And what I mean by ease is basically we're going to put something on there that is, it makes it animate better. Like it's nice and slow in, and has a little bit of friction and comes out, quite nice and slow. So we'll do that now. So there's a bit of a wait, and push that back over now that we animates on, and then it does that. So let's just go into our follow one, and let's select all keyframes. Let's just bunch these two a bit further closer together, so it's a bit more speedier. As I said, the closer they are, the better. So it goes up, starts about there. So we're going to push these a bit further close over there. So it goes up, it goes along, it goes up, it goes along. So right, we're going to add some nice easing to this. So we're just going to click back into our follow. We're going to select these two keyframes. We're going to select the two keyframes from in the follow one. That's where the white box comes up and goes to the left. So this section, if you double click into it, we'll go into follow. And these keyframes we're going to try and make a bit better. So at the moment it's very linear, so it's from just left to right. There's no kind of inertia. So we want to make some inertia. So we're going to click on Graph Editor. What Graph Editor does is actually makes you, well, it doesn't make you make it just gives you a better flexibility of how you want them to, the speed of that they start in and when it ends. So it has a certain sense of friction. So if you push some wood along a wood table, it's gonna it starts off really quick and then it goes really slow. So you're gonna want that kind of real human interaction with your design. So we're just gonna zoom in, and we've got some. This is like an ease. So this is what the graph looks like for an ease. So it comes in relatively sharp and it peaks, it speeds up, and then it falls down. So what we want is we want it to start off relatively quickish, but we want it to slow down a bit more. So we want it to be something like that. So it starts off really quick and then it goes really small. Then it tapers off. So it's going to go fast, then slow. So if you just play it, so does see a little bit? It's a bit quicker. It's not has a sense. Just pull this out a bit more. Obviously stretching it makes it go slower. So it has a bit more. Let's push these back a bit more. Select them. We'll actually reduce these a bit more and then push this a bit more. So it has that sense. So something like that. Yeah, that's nice. It goes like that. Okay, right. So that's that. So we've added that already to our follow one. So now we want to add something similar to the same of this. So the line goes up and then that comes on. So now we want to bring these a bit further together, make it a bit more speedier, and it does that. So we're going to highlight the two keyframes. We're going to select on the graph editor. We're going to just pull this down so we can see it a bit better. This doesn't change anything. And we're just going to grab the handles in and make it something similar to what we've just designed. So fires in and it does that. So you can see instantly it's a little bit better. We're just pulling the whole thing over a little bit more, so it makes the animation tighter, so it comes up. So a bit more. Up, long. Do it again. Up, long. A bit more. This is the beauty of it. You gotta play with it. So it comes up, it goes along. So it starts, the longness starts there. Up, along. So that's what we've got. It goes up and it goes along. Just gonna save that. I'm just gonna put this demo. Put it on my desktop. Because it would be called Untitled 1. But for stream. I'll try not to be a dork. Excuse me, got a gruff voice today. I haven't got any kind of infection, just to let you know. Yeah, so I'm alright apart from that. Just woke up with that voice. So we got this animation. It comes up and it comes out. This little line. I'm going to call this stroke, and then we're just going to duplicate it. Control D. And what I'm thinking is, I just want to move this over a bit. Just nudge it over to the left and just offset it. Yeah, just kind of offset it a bit. So just open both of them. They're identical, so I've offset it just a little bit. So you have one that comes up, and then you have another one that comes up, and the white one stays there. So that's what I'm thinking. So it comes up and does that. You can play around with it. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I don't know why. I don't know. It feels like Maybe something a bit better like that. Maybe in the wrong order. Maybe that one should come first. Yeah, I think so. So he comes... Yeah. Why is that text doing that? So follows in. There's a little bit delay with the text as well, which is nice. So it comes up, animates in, then it kind of follows. So that's what this is what we've got. So what we've done is, obviously on the text, we've got the text white box, but obviously on the white alpha, we've got our text being hidden by the box. As you can see, it will slightly cut. So that's what's been hidden outside of that blue box. And we've delayed it because we've got a custom easy ease on this, and this is just linear. So this is like dragging behind. This is gone at this point, it's gotten so much faster. The box has gone flying ahead, where the text is just still linear. It's still trying to catch up. So we can actually just tweak that a little bit. So we go back into the graph editor. We can bring the graph editor down, and this is like your standard ease. But what we can do is we can try and make this, like, because you can see, move this now. You see how fast it is. So it's matching that now. Just pull this a bit further over. It will have a slight delay. I don't particularly want that. I want this kind of like delay, kind of like look of it. So it goes in and it follows. Yeah. There we go. So that's the idea, what we've got so far. We're going to try and make this a lot better and a lot cleaner. We're going to add some more effects to that. So we've got our two strokes, which doing the two lines that go up. So the first one goes up, the second one is slightly delayed. I think that's that one. Yeah, it's slightly delayed, and then that comes up, and then it looks like it's expanding, but it's not. It's just a trick of the eye, because that's what we do. We're just going to save that. Save as you go. Remember, save as you go. If you don't save as you go and something happens and your computer bugs out, you've lost all that work. So your fingers should be resting on a Control S or Command S if you're on a Mac. Always. Right. We want to have some kind of effect in this box. So what I'm thinking is, this is our original design. That's a big A. We don't want that. So as the box goes in, we want, this is going to be delayed now, which is the text, which we just sorted that out. And we want like this, like kind of this color red to actually fly across this box. So imagine there was just a regular Reaper red. I call it Reaper red, because it is. Why isn't that changing? There we go. I unselected it. Remove the stroke. We want something like this to follow along in some kind of motion. So the way to do that is, it's going to go into the follow and come out of graph editor. So this is our original box, as you can see, which is just here, and that's animated. It's going to duplicate that, and I'm going, how am I going to do this? So we've got two white boxes. I'm going to just change one of them to red, which is a Reaper red. So I'm going back to the design, pick up the hex code, go in and change. Why is that green? Oh. Pick the right hex code, change the text. I don't want to change the text, I want to change the fill to the red. So it's now red. We don't want that. What we want is, I'm going to call this red box. Red box. It's red box. Red box. The white box. So the white box is obviously behind the red box. We want it white, but we're using this red accent to do a bit of a cool effect. So white box is always staying where it is. We've got a red box. We want to duplicate the white back box, white back box, and then we want to do this. We're going to go white alpha 2. Alpha 2. The reason is we've got white alpha at the top. So the alpha is just, I can't even spell. It's white, not wheat. So we're going to use this alpha box to mask out this red. So we're going to drag that under the red under the alpha. Then we're going to use the alpha and you're going to do that. So now it's red again, but that's what we want. We're just going to open the keyframes up. Actually going to open them all up actually. Press U and that opens up everything that you've got keyframes set for. So those are your keyframes. So this is the red box section. We're going to do this so it makes it easier for you to understand red. So this is the red box. So we've got the red alpha, which is like, it acts like a mask, and then the red box, which is inside that alpha. So they both come out at the same time. But now if we just offset this just a little, you have like this kind of effect now. It's kind of like a delayed, so it kind of whooshes in. We kind of want that, but we don't want the text. We still want the text on the white background. So how do we do that? So what we can do is we can take the position of this text and take the size. So if you highlight the red text box, hold Shift and S, that's going to put scale in. And we're going to mark a keyframe on the scale, and then when it gets to there, we want it to kind of not shrink down in size and be more over there and be invisible. So just remove that keyframe. We don't want that. So those are the keyframes that we just created, little diamonds. So the text comes in, the background happens, and it does that kind of animation off. It's going to ease those. You can do a quick easy ease out. Just press F9 on your keyboard and you'll ease that keyframe really quickly. So that's what we've kind of got. Now, because we've got a mask on it, so it should look like that. It should look. I mean, we're just making this up as we go. We're not doing anything by the book. So let's start it. It goes up and it does that. Probably a bit too quick. So we're just going to go back, highlight these and just pull them a little bit. It does that. So that's the kind of effect that we've got. So you could argue that this red, this line could be red actually. So it's going to change that to red. Red. Maybe this goes over a bit more. Oh, it's a bit that way. Needs to come up well before that. You go up. Well, as that goes up, we want the red to happen. So let's go over to follow, and we're going to take the red and just bring that back a bit more. So it goes like that. box, the red as the red line comes up, it does that. It goes up, it goes red, and then when it gets to there, we're going to change the stroke color to white. So we've got our stroke selected, we've got our stroke here. We're just going to add a stroke, and that stroke comes in as red. Or it won't come as red, it'll come in there. And it's got keyframes assigned to it. So it's U. It comes up, goes red, and then we want the line to go white. So the way we can actually just fudge that is going to stroke, and then we've got color, keyframe of color, which is the one before. And then when it gets to there, we're going to keyframe it white. And it gets to there. But this is that there. Why is it not changing? Why has it been annoying? Shape, stroke, here we are, stroke, there's already one there. So click on stroke, color, then there, I'm going to change it to white. So it goes like that. So when the box finishes, it's going to go up, go red, the red's going to go along, and the follow is going to be revealed. That's how we've done that. We've got, now we've got, that's where the color is. Push that a bit closer together. So up, and it goes along. We want a bit more movement on this text. So this is the text. That's the box. Where's the text? Text is here. Didn't even know where the text was. Follow text. Text. Follow. That's it. That's the text. So that's the follow text. We want this just to. Where's that gone? Right. We want it to move in. We want the text to move in. So we've got our follow text. We're going to press P for position. We're going to put a keyframe in. And the keyframe is when it ends there. So that's where it ends. But before that, I'm going to move this off a little bit. And then as it goes in. So it's off the screen there. And then the text comes in. Some kind of parallaxy effect. As it goes in. Bit better. It's going to change these, and we're going to put some custom motion on them. So let's have a look at that back. So the text comes out, line goes up, line goes up. See what happened there. We'll fix that. We can fix that afterwards, but that is the idea what we're going for. I'm going to go follow, and then it will reverse, and we'll get it reversed, and it will go back that way anyway. So how are we going to fix this little area here? Well, that's pretty much easy. We're going to go back into follow, take off graph editor, and you can see like where it starts about there is where it kind of looks like it's squashing, but it's not. But because this, we've got a stroke over here, so it looks like it's doing that. So what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and move this stroke and this stroke. We're going to put this behind this one. It goes up and then goes along. Goes up, goes along. The text looks a bit weird there. So let's go to there, it's going to follow. So this is where it's happening. So the text is looking like, it's the red box basically. The red box needs to be a bit further over. Just by one. goes up. Let's undo that because that's not how we wanted to do it. Goes up. The text is still being shown. So if we move that way, there we go. So that's how it goes up. Dum dum. So there we've got the start of our animation, which is the same as what we were thinking here. You can sort the red dot out afterwards. So we just expanded up by doing that. Now we're going to look at this section and how this section comes in when we actually do it. So this is our first bit. So that's it. Now that's our first bit. So we're just going to pre-compose these, put them back into another kind of like a smart folder. I'm going to put this follow anim, because that is the follow animation that goes in, and that's that. So when it comes up, we want the Reaper's Lantern Twitter to come up afterwards. So start again, let's start small. We're going to go right click in the lower thirds. We're going to, whatever you've called it, we're going to click new, we're going to put text. And then you're going to put Reaper's Lantern in bright green. What's about Reaper's Lantern? REA. Can't even spell my own name. Alright, we don't need it that big. We're going to use it for green for the moment so we can see what's going on. Alright, Reaper's Lantern, and that's that. It's not that size text. We're going to go for semi-bold, because typography is everything, as well as... Why is that not changing? Jeez. I'm going to go semi-bold. Yes, because typography is just as important when it comes to your stream design. I like good typography. It comes up, goes that way, so that's, we're going to say there. So we know that our our notification kind of comes in then. I'm just going to add a label and double click on it. I'm going to go end. It's just for my reference, so I know where it stopped animating, and then here is where it starts. Add another one. Gonna click. I was gonna name it start. Right. So that's where we got. Okay, so we just added the labels in, so we know where start and stop. Labels are handy. Use them. So it goes up. Right. We've got our text. We now need a background. You're going to right click new. We're going to click solid. Shape. There's a shape layer. And then we're going to add a rectangle. And then we're going to add fill. It's gone red. Nice. So he's going to make sure that we select the right color for our background. And then we're just going to change that fill color to that color. I'm just going to drag this down. It's roughly about there. And now when I drag the rectangle's edges, it's going to scale horizontally. For grab in the corner, it's going to go all like this. Free transforming. So we just want to position this. We're going to move this rectangle, well, not rectangle, we're going to move this anchor point. So the way it's working is it's scaling everything from the center. Don't want to do that at the moment. We want to like anchor it to the left. So you're going to grab the pan behind tool. I'm just going to move this over to the edge. So then when we select into the shape and then we click in size, we're just going to uncheck align, and then we're just going to move it. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Going to transform and the scale. I'm just going to click on the left one and make it longer. I'm going to take the shape there. I'm just going to move it behind, which is command bracket arrow down, and that's how you actually move stuff below and on top of layers. Quickest way to do it instead of dragging. So we've got our text. We're just messing with the width of it now. Roughly around about there. I'd say about there. Because we're going to have like an icon anyway. So we're going to put Reaper's Lantern. It's not on brand. Well, we want the text to be white anyway, so we're going to change that now. The text white, so there we go. And then we're going to have some space for the Twitter icon. So just going to grab the Reaper text. It's going to nudge it around a bit. So that's what we've got. So it comes up, it goes up, goes along, and then we want this box to basically do the same thing. Make it a little bit bigger, just to be on the safe side. So we've got our shape layer. We're going to duplicate that shape layer, and then we're going to name this one to shape alpha, because we want the box to act as a mask for our text to be revealed on, and this is the quickest way to do it. Or you can mask it, entirely up to you, but I like doing it this way. So the shape layer, got two identical shape layers, which is this grey box. For purpose of this, we're going to change this to red. Why does it not change red? Because that's the text color. Here we are. If I change it to red, you can see it better. So there we are. We've got two boxes. We've got this one and the one behind it. So the one behind it we're going to use as a mask, which is what we've done for the alpha one. So we're going to change that to alpha. So you see the text goes red now because the text is now clipped inside of that shape. So you're going to change the text. You're going to not change the text, but we're going to change the shape layer to white. So that's now done. So now if I actually move this text up, you see it won't go past. It won't be revealed outside of that box, and that's what we want. And then we've got that shape layer behind it as well. So we've got the text come on. So I'm thinking we're going to follow the same motion of this. So we're going to go on. It's going to fly on like that, and then we're going to have this box fly up, fly over to the left as well. So that's what we're going to. Sure, CSS. I mean, I'm not doing CSS. I'll leave that to you. Everything can be done in animation. CSS as well. Well, you can do anything in CSS, I think, with animation. But it takes a while. This is easier. So we want the text to fly on at the same time. It's going to come up and fly in. So that's what we're kind of do. So we want to animate this text now. So we've now got our text as now text. Couldn't remember how to say it then. Got our text is now being masked. So now you can't see when it goes over this invisible box that we created, which was from the same shape. So we're gonna duplicate it. Deluplicate. What was our red? We're gonna take our red. And we're gonna follow the same process. Change the color of that, which has gone back to red. So which is cool. Right. This goes up. This follows along. We've got a shape layer, and we've got this shape layer as well. We might. What do I think? I'm just trying to think of how I want to do this the same. So we know that this red text box is going to come up. So for that to happen, I need to actually make a duplicate of the background color and alpha matte that as well. So when I've done that the wrong way around, take that, put that underneath the alpha matte that. So yeah, so this is my shape and it's getting clipped now, so that's what we want. So we want it to follow the same thing. So it goes red, it starts to go white, it goes red pans across, and it does that. So we want the same to happen with secondary text as subtext. So we're gonna select the red, this red box, and we're going to put it here, which is outside. We're gonna set a P, and click P, going to click position, and it's going to add a keyframe in it. So we're going to move this to the start. It goes to there, so about there is the end of that. So that's where it starts. And we're going to go a couple in, and then we're going to move the position of this over to there, which is the same size. So it does that, goes along, then it does that. But we don't want the red block to be there, so we want it to scale down when it gets there. So we're gonna hit Shift S, which puts in scale. Not scale, we don't want to use that one. Yes we do, we want to use scale. So we can click scale to add a keyframe. And then when it comes over, we want the scale of this to be thinner. It to go from fat to thin. And we want that to be off. So it does that. So it's kind of like similar. So that goes on. And this goes off. That's what I'm thinking. So it flies on, push these back a bit, flies on. So it goes, flies on. Okay, we're just going to put some easy ease on those. Not easy ease, but we're just going to change the speed of them to make it a bit more interesting. So he's gone too quick now because I've added that easing in, but you can just bring it, expand them a bit better. So that's a bit better. Starts fast and goes slow, probably a little bit too fast to start with. I'm gonna push these over a little bit. So it slowly goes in, ramps up, and then slowly goes out. Save as you go. Goes in, goes fast, and that's it. A little bit too much of a delay, so he's going to take the elements that we've just created and just bring them a bit closer to this, closer to the first one. So you want that like kind of handoff between each other. So it starts and does that. Maybe a little bit more to the left. One more, a couple more. So that's better. We want it to do that. And we want the text to be the same. We want the text to come in as well and have it seamlessly like the other one. So we do the same. So we've got our shape layer, which is the background one if we remove it. So we want that to animate in. So we're going to twiddle it down. We're going to go to scale, click on the timer. So that's the ending. So it goes like that. And it's off. So that's where your first keyframe is going to go, because that's where it is. Well, over here, roughly about there, the scale of this can come back down to like 0. So the text comes up. Now we've got some additional text here, and I don't think we need that. Or do we? Oh yes we do. So this text, don't know why that's... So how? So we're going to follow that on, we're going to do that, we're going to do that, but the text is not revealing. I think the text is not revealing because I have not put it in an alpha. So that goes to there, it goes there, that goes on. So that's that, it's fine. Right, text. So this is the alpha, this is the text. So yeah. Right, so figure this out. There we are. Right, the text comes up. That goes along. That's a bit too slow. The dark background's a bit too slow. This background. So we're just going to ramp that up a bit. So select them both. Graph editor. Let's bring these down. Let's try and make it a bit more better. So it goes whoosh. So maybe that needs to come over a little bit more. So it does that. That's what I'm thinking. But the text is still not clipping. The reason why the text is not clipping is because I haven't clipped it yet. So I'm going to take the shape layer that we've just done. We're going to drag the text below that, and then we're going to change that to not inverted. If I just change it inverted, track, and then move these two above. No, just undo that a second because I've messed up. Right, this is the text. It's fine. We need this box. We need to duplicate this box. We need to put the text from there behind that box. That's right, and then the text is behind. The text is behind that shape. That shape. That shape. And then we're going to change that to, that's no track map, so that's fine. That's the one for above. This is this. And our text is really annoying because it doesn't show. There we go. I lost my text. So this is the follow one. I need this one. Duplicate, shove this to the top. I need that one. Right. So it does it in dark. What we need to do is now that the text is clipped, you can see the text doesn't come on. So we need to actually change this shape to white. This text is white as well. The shape behind it needs to go white. So that's what we're thinking. So it comes up and does that. Opens, follows, follow representing. So that's that. Just checking it. has that nice easy ease on it. So yeah, that is quite cool. Could do something else with these lines as well. So they come up on the top, move across, then that moves across. Then I could, okay, I've got an idea. So we kind of sorted that text out. We still yet to add this Twitter icon. And the reason why we're doing it quite simplistically is that we can duplicate this and then put follow on Instagram or whatever. Or just follow representing Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Follow representing. So it goes off to there. Just save that. So that's our... So we had two ways of doing it. One way, we've just moved a box over that we've masked the box off, our composition. And then the second way, we've done it that you've actually changed the anchor points and you've shrunk a box from 0 to whatever percentage that you wanted to move to. Kind of done it that way. Follow Reaper's Lantern, right? And I probably want like one of those strokes that we've created from before. So one of these, we've got a stroke, got this little stroke here, this one, and I copy that. I'm going to come over to here and I paste it in. And I'm going to move that stroke. Not that stroke. And move this stroke. Why is it not letting me do it? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, bugs. Right, I don't need that. That's fine. This is a stroke. Where the fuck is that stroke gone? There it is. We want to keep like the same stroke. So I was thinking, right, when it comes to a certain point, it kind of moves out. So let's just do it. Let's just create it from scratch. So you've got a shape layer, and then we're just going to go like that. Well, that's a mask. So he's going to go right click new, shape layer. I'm going to go like that. Then we're going to change that to white. No, it should stay the red. Reaper red. And then as the animation ends, this stroke, you can vaguely see that the background color of this this makes it difficult. So this background here, we want this to maybe like fly off the end. Or it does something different. Let's try something different. So we got that line. We're gonna add a trim paths to this, and you can animate this down, and then do that way, and you can animate it back up, or up or down. I think we start there, and then when it gets to like, it does that. From there, you move that down. It comes out. And it comes down. Just change the easies and then. It's making it a bit better. But we're just making this up as we go. Just making everything up. So it comes out, it goes down, does that. Maybe then it has to go off. So it comes down, and as it goes that way, so maybe the end, the offset of this. So if we click in trim paths, we click on the actual stopwatch, which is called offset. We can offset the stroke clipping, not the clipping, but we can move it. So it has that. Oh, it shouldn't be like that. No, we don't want to use that one. We want it to go down, and then we're gonna use the end as well and pull it down to 100%. So he's gonna come out, he's gonna start animating down, then we're gonna move it in and then push it down and give those the same look curve that we want to achieve. So it's like similar to the next one. So yeah, so it comes out, goes down, does that. If you highlight them all, click Alt, you can actually just increase the time, make it a bit better. Just another quick way of doing it. So let's have a look at what we've got so far. So we've got follow Reaper's Lantern, and then line comes down. It's just playing it. So it comes in, does that, and it does that. Just gonna stretch these out a little bit. These keyframes. So it does that, yeah. So it comes in, flows in. It's going to reveal the keyframes for these, because now we're actually making quite a few keyframes now. So it's this box here. Might want to just not necessarily speed it up a bit, but something like that. This is coming on. And it goes down. So we might need to move this stroke over a little bit. The reason why I'm pushing it over is because I want, as soon as that hits there, I want this to think about starting. So like that. Goes up, fades on, gets to the end, little red line goes down and disappears. So that's what we've got. So we've got, let's play it. Goes up, follows along, does that, then goes down. Now we want our text to have some kind of inertia on it as well. So we want the text to move. So this is our text. Where has our text gone? This is our text. So if we click on P on the keyboard, we're going to bring up the opacity, which we don't. We don't want the opacity of that at all. We want text. We want position. So here, click on the position, and that's where it's going to end. But if we put it halfway back and then move it just a little bit, we have this. It's kind of like the text is moving a little bit more. Probably doesn't need to go that far over. Move it back a bit. Let's get some nice on the graph editor. Let's just pull these handles in. How you get to the graph editor, right? If you select these if you select your keyframes, and there's an icon here, and it says graph editor. If you click on that, And what you have to make sure is, like, when you're in here, make sure that you're in edit speed graph, because it's the speed that you want to be editing. This is where it's most interesting. You can add like really nice, it comes in really sharp, but then, you know what I mean, and it kind of like slows down. So there, something like that. That's nice and fluid. Oh no, his name. Thanks for that. It's fine, mate. Look away. Yeah, you look away, mate. I don't mind. So let's place audio. Let's not place audio, video. So the lines go up, goes along, it does that. So that's the basics of what we wanted to, we thought about this. So this will go on to, I think I did a mock-up. Oh yeah, here's a mock-up. So there's some UI. Before we got recent followers, recent goal. We've got represent, and we've got some, but it's replacing this. I want something a bit more interactive than this. So our new quarter panels are just going to go here. Quarter panels, quarter animations, call to actions, animations going to go in. They're going to come in, but I wanted to actually have it actually post into the chat as well. So when I want to be able to press a key that sends a message to the chat, then plays some audio, and also shows the animation that comes in. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You will need an Elgato screen. I can't speak today. Elgato Stream Deck is what I'm using, but you can use keybinds to your keyboard, obviously, to actually invoke it to do it. I'll try and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. We've just picked a bit of audio that will probably be quite fun to use. I don't know. We're just making up as we go along. It's fun. It's fun. So yeah, so that's my idea. Is have these somewhere in the stream when I'm streaming. So we're doing quite well at this. This has gone a lot more smoothly than what was in my head when I was dreaming. So that's what we've got. We've got this call to action that comes in, and it does this and goes down, which is nice. And then when it reverses, it's going to come up, do that, and then go back. So that actually makes me wonder, because you got one that goes up, then you got this red box that goes along, and then you've got the continuation of that. I want that to kind of get to about there. And then it goes down, just for consistency. So about there. So if we take our layer and we move this over, use the arrow keys to move it over. I'm squinting now. I need to get I need to get a deeper look. Need some pixels. Give me some pixels. So yeah, we need to make this a bit more further over. Don't leave it like that. Leave it like that. Don't leave it ever like that. This is one pix difference to make it cleaner. That, not nice. That's better. See? Let's get nice. There we go. So it kind of gets there. So I might have to. So it's going to go to there. We're going to take. I'm going to take it from there. So maybe these start and end times that I had on the trim, not the position, the shape. We've got ones that come down. So let's just remove those ones. And move that one. So it comes in. It's going to look like it stops there. So what we're going to do is going to trim this timeline. Because we don't want it to be visible to that part. And we're not going to do opacity off and then opacity on. We just want it to not be visible at all. So we're going to clip it. Not clip it. It's going to say about here. We're going to use Alt and then square bracket, left square bracket. So that trims it. So it's kind of trimmed it here now. So it's not showing before. So when it gets to there, it turns on. And it's going to go to there. It's going to stay there. Then this animation that we got here, it's going to delete that. So it comes on to here. And then we're going to take the start. So we're going to go open, trim paths, which we've got on our one stroke. We're going to go to end. We're going to add a keyframe. We're going to move it along a little bit. We're going to add and then we're going to pull this slider all the way to 100%, which now makes the path go away. So it comes on, it's off, and it goes down. Let's just give the keyframe some love. Just push them in a bit. Make a nice little curve. Try and keep it consistent with everything else. It's okay if you actually offset it a little bit, add a bit of dynamic, but you know, it's your it's however you think about designing it. So it comes in. We've got it coming in, goes that way. The stroke stays there, then the stroke disappears. And when the stroke comes back, it goes back the opposite way and then disappears that way. So that's what we're thinking. And then when it goes off, you don't need it. You can actually clip it now. So it's the same process, which is Alt, square bracket, square right bracket. So then it disappears and it's off. So that's where we're going to. It's only a short thing. Now we want maybe a Twitter icon to appear. So it's going to move this now to, going to move this to the end because that's the end of our animation for that part. So that's that. So it goes off. Perfect. Now we're going to trim the whole work area. We've got I think we've got like 2 minutes timeline here. And we don't need that amount of minutes. So what we want to do is just trim this back because it's only a short animation. This is like really long. This is like 5 minutes. So right click and then we're going to go trim work to work area. So it just makes it a bit more better. So actually manage, you don't have to go all the way over to the right. Comes in, does that, done. Nice. It's tidying up as we go. Don't forget to hit save. So now we want like this Twitter icon to come in, but how do we want it to come in? I think just move it up. See, the thing is, like, when you actually think about it, you could actually go, well, you have like this paint, you could have this paint swoosh up, you know, here you could have this effect just like splat up. I think hello. Oh, meow, I'm lurking. Nice. I don't mind lurkers as long as you get something out of it. That's what it is. But we could have used this like this splat effect, this kind of painted effect, like to go at like whoosh up. But I've got that on my stinger. So when I was just in a transition between each scene to what each scene, I've got that already. I don't want to overkill it. I want to use it like in subtle places. I don't want to overkill it, so that's why I'm not using it in this. And I wanted something to be easy to manage. That's why I've come up with this design as well. But if you want to, you kind of go for it. So we've got Follow Reaper's Lantern, and because we're going to do a Twitter one, so we need an icon. So you can find Twitter icons all over the place. But specifically, if you're going to take a branding like Twitter, I always get it from Twitter, Instagram as well, Facebook. They all have product pages where you can download the assets from their pages, whether it's PNG, whether it's vector, and they do have brand guidelines as well, trying to adhere to them as much as possible. It gives you a guide how to use, too much Lucasade, their assets properly, and always go for vector if you can, because as I said, pixel, if you design it wrong and you want to expand it, you're not going to be able to, or you design it big. That's what you can do. So you can do that. So what were we doing? I don't know what we were doing. Oh yeah, Twitter logo. So here's Twitter logo. So I've gone to Twitter and I've got their logos. So we've got one original white. We've got a vector here, which is an EPS. So we can use whichever one. White logo PNG. We'll just use a PNG. Well, and then let me drag it on. Is it because I need to extract it. Fail. Extract to desktop. Extract to computer. And now WinZip is just being a dick. Right, open it. Where is it? Downloads. Twitter. Logos. Here we go. Open it. Yeah, WinRAR. Logos. Twitter logos. I'm going to move this to my stream assets folder, because I've got loads of icon assets. So on blue. Don't want on blue. On white. White on blue. Twitter logos. Blue. No, white only. Here we go. PNG. Just drag that off into my assets, and drag from my assets into After Effects. So white logo's here. It's nice. There we are. We put it there. It's on a fucked up background color, which is really annoying. I don't know why the music decided to blare in. Jeez. Wasn't doing anything earlier. What was I doing? Yeah, right. Logo. Let's get a logo in here. Let's get a Twitter icon. Files. Twitter. Streaming. Icon assets. Icon assets. Twitter logo. Twitter logo. White. I don't know why it actually had that background on it. I don't want that fucking background on it. So what I might do is I'm going to go into your art program. This is the Twitter asset, which I got from the website. So I might just take that file, export. I'm going to export it as a PNG. We're going to go for without background, and then we're going to change that to that Twitter icon. Then go back into After Effects. We've got Twitter icon there. I might just replace footage just to make sure. And then drag the icon in. So now you can see, here's the icon. You see like it goes a bit all wonky? It's gone a bit fuzzy. You can't fix this, but so if you've got a thing to raster it, but it just doesn't look good at all. It looks terrible. So what I'm gonna do is gonna take this. I'm gonna expand this to be really big. File, export, PNG. I'm gonna export it without the background because we want it on clear, and just replace the asset. Well, replacing it automatically updates in After Effects. So here we go. So it's nice and sharp now. So you just click S on the keyboard, it scales it down. There we got a Twitter icon. You can change the color of it from here. If you want it red. If you double click into it, you want it red, it'll go to red. That's how you change color of stuff. That's that. Let's push that out off the way. So that's that. So now we've got it in. Well, we want to. You can't just like have it. It's gonna always stay there. So what we want to do is we want to take the shape, which is used to which uses a mask. Everything else we want to use the same for the Twitter icon. So if you push that mask forward, so that's the mask, and then take this Twitter icon, change it to alpha, you can now see that it's masked in there. So it's off. I don't know why that shape is not on. So there you go. Oh, dear me. Duplicate that, move that to the bottom, turn it on. So now the Twitter icon is being clipped, as you can see there. But we wanted to make it a bit better, so maybe as it's moving up, we can actually change its position. So if you just take the Twitter logo, hit P on your keyboard, you're going to mess with the position. So that's the end of where we want it. So what do we want it before that? So maybe we're going to bring it down. So it comes up. So it's a bit shit because it hasn't got any better animation on it at the moment. Make it a bit better. Put a bit of rotation on it. So that's the keyframe where it ends. And the rotation could be, just move it this way. It looks like it's gonna fly up. Something like that. A little bit too quick for my liking. So now click on Alt and drag the end keyframes. Yeah, a little bit too long now. A little bit too long. Needs to be snappier. So let's highlight the keyframes. Go into Graph Editor. Let's select it. Let's move this a bit. Select both of them and then just push them in. Always finicky, always. So it comes out. I think it needs to go more over this side. That's the kind of effect, that's the kind of pattern, that's the kind of curve we've got for the rest of them. So suddenly, it suddenly speeds up and slows down. and turns. Comes in. There you go. Something like that. So let's save it. Let's just give it a quick play. Yeah, I think that's all right. Maybe let's move the keyframes just a little bit. There you go. That's a bit of, I don't know, it's kind of rocking back. Goes up, and that's the end of that, and then that ends there. And then there's always like a pause. So now what we can do is you can take the second batch. You can take this section here, which is all this animated on, and we can actually pre-compose this. Just makes it like into a smart kind of folder. But subtext. Let's keep it a bit more generic. So we got follow animation, which is the top one, which is this one, and then we got subtext. It comes in and follows. Now, every time we want to change the text, we can always go into it separately and change the text, and then adjust it. It just makes it. It just makes it a little bit cleaner, a bit more better to do that, to work a bit more smarter and a bit more cleaner. So pre-composing stuff is always good. We're basically making alerts that come in for like your Twitch or your YouTube channel. So you got please follow Reaper's Lantern. So I was just making them for myself, and I thought, you know what, I'll stream of how I actually do mine. So you now know like how I do mine. So that's what we're kind of going for. And we don't need to worry about the position. We don't need to worry about the position of these yet. We're just laying it all out, and then we'll scale it down and position it. We'll export it. We'll bring that over into Streamlabs, and we'll do a little playthrough of how to actually activate that in Twitch, for example. Activate it in your live stream. Actually post a message into chat, and play a weird little sound effect as well, which is always going to be quite fun. So we got follow Reaper's Lantern. So I think it goes quite nice. It could be a little bit smoother towards the end, but we can finesse with that afterwards. So we've got our two sections. So we've got all this time frame. So we need it to come in, stay on for a bit, then disappear. So how do we do that? So it's going to drag this over. I'm going to pull this a bit further back, so it starts sooner, just because we want the rest of this to play with. It goes to there, it stays on. So let's just bring the start a label so we know. I'm going to make this, I'm going to bring this a little bit further over. What is this fucking music? I got like I just put a Twitch playlist on. So it comes in, starts here. Wait. Raid. Raid. Thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. It's probably not as exciting as like your channel, but this is this is a design channel. Hey meow, raid, love it, love a good raid. One day I'll reciprocate. When I've got thousands of followers, I'll raid you every day. Thanks for following, guys. I haven't got my notifications turned on in this view. I've only got it turned on in my game. But thanks, I can see. Thanks for following. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Well, what we're doing is we're designing some stuff for my Twitter. Well, I'm designing some Twitter assets, and we're just doing animation for thirds, quarter animation panels. So we're just going to make them animating, make them do something nice for ourselves. Yeah, thanks a lot, Fendi, for following. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, these assets. This is what we make. This is what we've made so far. What I need to do is it needs to stay on for a bit, and then it needs to disappear. So I think that's probably about right. I think as it comes in, and then it disappears. Maybe, yeah, maybe do it to about there. So it comes in, it starts there, so it starts there, comes in, stays on, then it's got to go backwards. So if we take this and then cut it, and then if you duplicate it, move it all the way to the top, and then if you right click on both of them, go to time and reverse time, and then push these that way. If I did I do it that way? No, I didn't do that right at all. If you move this in, so it goes to about there, and we're gonna basically what I need to do is trim it here, and then as it stays on, it goes back by itself. So it stays on and then goes back. So if we trim it, if we duplicate both of those, if we go to, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, it is time based, and it is time reverse layer. Maybe that's wrong. So let's just move this back this way. It goes that way to there. Stays on. Stays on. Right, split. Need to find the split. Edit. Edit. Time to time. I'm still going. Most of it I'm just making up in my head. But we're nearly there. We've kind of animated it now. We just need to split it and then reverse it. Split it and reverse it. The reason why we're doing that is to actually split it, is to reverse it backwards without going through all the pain of animating everything again. And I can't remember. I've sunk a battleship. I love the battleship's amazing. I love battleship games. What I was actually trying to do was actually trying to find split. I can't remember where split was. How bad's that? Alright, split. Split timeline in After Effects. When you've forgotten how to do it. Shift Command D. Oh, I don't want to do that. This is some long ass way of doing it. Can't I just go? I don't want to pre-compose it. I want to split them. Do you know what I'll do for here? Right, to here, I got it. Right, I'm gonna cut it to there, to there. Oh, sorry. I read it completely wrong. Yeah, I'm 100% making it up as I go along. I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, I have an idea in my head of what I want to do, and I kind of thought about it properly. That's not saying that nobody thinks about it properly, but I designed the brand, I did the graphics, I know the language that it has, I know that whatever I do now is going to last me 5-6 years, because I don't want to change it again. I've changed it 3 times, but you haven't noticed it. I'll show you some old stuff that I did. It's absolutely terrible, and I wanted something a bit more cleaner. So having it, why don't I open a photo? So I had an idea, something nice and clean. So it starts here, and then it ends here. Stays on for that long. So basically, I'm just cutting it. So that's how big this box here, this section here. This is how big I want it. This is how big I want it to be and stay on for. So if I set both of those Control D, and push them up to the top, I'm going to right click them, and I'm going to go time and time reverse layer. I'm going to push these to the end. So as it goes in, it stays on for a bit. It'll make its way back. So let's turn off the title safe. Let's move out a bit. So it comes in, stays on, and it comes back out again. So that, I might just remove the top bit. I don't probably want it to stay on that long. So it's like 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably about there actually. So highlight them both. Highlight them both and cut them. Shit. Let's cut them down. You can get rid of these delete these markers now. Markers I only use for my personal preference. It's just so I can know when stuff starts. So they come on, and you can see it stays on there. It stays on for there for about like 1, 2, 3 seconds. So duplicate these that you've done. Move them to the end, so it kind of comes on twice by this, but we don't want that to happen. We take these last 2 time reverse layers. So now they're actually reversed, and now they're actually self-animating out. So they come in, stay, come back out. See, what we could do is actually reduce it even more. The reason being is this pause here, from as soon as it comes on, it's going to be for that long. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to say about there. I'm just doing this by eye. I'm just testing it. You know, you've got unlimited undos. We've got limited undos, so we can do as many times as we want. So duplicate it, move it to the top, push both of them over to the end. You've got no clue what's going on. So we're making this called lower thirds. So they're animations that happen like on this side, or this side. So over here. And they fly in, so they could be like, follow meow meow buns, please do, follow meow meow, or you know, whatever, Twitch, Discord, or whatever. So they kind of animate in, and then they animate out. It's just that little bit of touch to your stream. Reverse layers. So saying they come in, they'll say like follow Reaper's Lantern, and then they'll come off. Follow in, they'll stay, and they'll follow off. So that's that. So that's how you make this kind of 2/3 animation, these call to actions. So what we're going to do is going to take these, all three of these, and then we're going to, what should we do? We don't need the back. Don't need the template at the back. So let's just put this back on. So they come on, it comes on. So that's the luck of it. This is way above your head. It's hey, follow along. Rewatch the video. You can do it. It's easy. You have to have After Effects. Good. Is that why I'm doing it for you? So we're gonna it's just magic to you. They just happen. So this is the kind of style that we've got going on, and this is what's gonna use on our Twitter pages. You're gonna use this in our YouTube videos. So any kind of stuff that we want these to do. So now that we have this base template based off our initial design, which was here, we're gonna be able to use that. It shouldn't be should be white. Just go back. There you go. So based off our initial concept, that's where they're going to appear, and we're going to use these it's just what it's that one of those things with technology. It's like, how easy is the software to understand to use it? These, like, how difficult is it? Especially when, like, using creative software, if you design every day and use different pieces of software, you'd be good at it. But when you're first starting out doing any kind of design, and you've got all this software in front of you, it's really daunting. So, you know, things like this to make it like a little bit less daunting for you. But I know exactly what you're saying. Any kind of design package I've ever used, like, half a time, like, you actually go, where is this, where is that? But I know what I'm looking for. So I only choose software that works for me, instead of me having to battle with that software to use it as well. Well, we fit loads of different genres though, don't we? Well, they're tech savvy, non-tech savvy, like, the designers, not designers. But, you know, ask me anything, I'll help. If you want to do this kind of stuff, you'll stick to coding. I've tried coding. I'm very basic. I leave that to the professionals. I can't. I think that's it. You know, I see a lot of Twitch streams which are like, they're caked in stuff that you don't need to see. I know that we have, like, follow goals and things like that, where are elements that attract viewers, don't attract them, but they're to give the users a head up, viewers a heads up of what's happening, what your goals are, etc. Those are, like, really informative, and, like, they tell you, your users, what you're kind of aiming for. If you want, like, a sub goal of this and this and that and the other, it's kind of like giving that boost of stuff. So it's kind of using elements that actually do that. Now, I've seen a lot in people's streams, they want to put everything in there, and there's no need. If, for example, if you've started out and you haven't reached 50 followers on Twitch, you're not going to be affiliated until you've reached those 50 followers. That's if you get affiliated. So when you get to, when you're at that stage, you're not going to put subscriber counts on there, because you can't do that yet. But people do that, and it looks broken, and it's in there, and it says 0, and it bugs me, because, like, you're not at that level yet, and you know, putting that there, I would think, oh, I could subscribe to them, but you can't because they've only just started and they're less than 50 followers. It kind of like those little niches kind of bug me. Like, if it's not working yet, don't share it. Just keep it clean. It's about the content. It's about like the stuff that you can actually share with like communities and stuff that, you know, help them. You know, let's declutter the world of. We deal with technology all day, every day. You just want to sit back and just go like, yeah, we don't want to be in that every day. Every day. We do it for our jobs. I mean, look at me. I'm always in it. I do it for my job. I do it for a hobby. I now started streaming, so I'm constantly in it. Trying to do my own branding, which is just headaches to do. It's easy when you do it for somebody else. When you do it for yourself, it's really fucking difficult. Like, really difficult. And I go, oh. Yeah, like, there's that thing as well. Everybody, you know, people say, oh, do you work in Fiverr? No, I don't do Fiverr. It's never appealed to me to do it. And the reason why I get it, why people go to Fiverr, is just because, yeah, I'm terrible. I'm my own worst critic. For number one, I'll try and build it myself if I can. People on Fiverr, they're amazing artists. They're brilliant. But if you go to them and go, I want a logo, they'll create you any old shit because they can. That's what they do. But I'm the guy that goes, okay, so what kind of branding are you looking for? You know, what is your audience? You know, what is you know, what's the idea behind your branding? It's like constantly picking your mind, going, and you're only doing that as a designer or a product designer or a logo designer or whatever, is to understand what you're designing. You're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. You're doing it for a particular reason, is to elevate somebody's business or profile or whatever it is, to be a robust, confident brand that stands strong amongst every other fucking brand out there. You know, no, you're probably not going to be as big as Adidas or something like that, but the same principle follows. People will look at you and look at your brand and they'll remember that without thinking the name. So there may be one time in many months to come, years to come, that people will go, Reaper's Lantern. They could probably just look at that icon or that color palette and not be displayed any name, but instantly go Reaper's Lantern. That's like Adidas. The tick, you know, you don't have to read it, you can just see it and you just spark something in your head. And there's like brand thinking as well, like that design thinking about it. You know, I don't like designing just for the sake of fucking doing it. Yeah, and I have terrible OCD when it comes to like making things look nice. I'm like always trying to like do something. Like I used the Twitter app today, and I was like checking in not the Twitch app. I was using the Twitch app, and I was checking to find out legal, like royalty-free music that you can just play in the background while you're streaming. Because if this is kind of like a tutorial thing, I don't want it to be monetized, or you won't be able to hear half the things I'm saying. So I used part of their website on a mobile phone, and I ended up flipping out because they're just broken. It just doesn't work. I was like, ugh! It's like, why would you make it live if it's like that? Like, don't do that to me. Mistakes happen. I get it. Like product design, it happens. You make mistakes, you learn from them. That's how you make a better product. Apple do it. They wouldn't be where they are now if they weren't like that. even though they don't listen to you, Google, they do it their way. They do it very openly and self-exploring way of using their product. Apple is very like, it's my way or the highway. If you wanted my nerd opinion on it. So what was I doing? I was in After Effects, wasn't I? Well, the thing is though, I always look at people's streams. It's not, like, this is not like, oh, look what I can do, blah 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 blah. I'm here to like help like new streamers, like just fucking, have the best. I'm not blowing my trumpet. My work friends will vouch for me how particular I am. Like, I am pretty particular when it comes to design, and I am not particular about my own stuff. I'm terrible when it comes to my own stuff. I'm lazy. I'm like, nah, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, it's fine. I'll do it later. So we've done this animation now, which is called follow Twitter Reaper's Lantern. There are some minor tweaks that I'd like to do, but you would never notice them as a user with a naked eye. And I think that's what it is. You can finesse over it and make it like absolutely beautiful, but most of the time the users probably won't care for this. So it's like, why are we creating this? This is just like a helping. This is just like a little visual step to boost your Twitter, your Instagram, or your follow. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. You use them on YouTube or other sorts of media, or they're good way if you're on YouTube and you've got this same video which I'm recording now, which I'll put on YouTube after a period of time. Once I've done the Twitch side, then I'll use these call to actions in YouTube to go follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and vice versa, follow me on YouTube. I'd never put in Twitch, follow me on Twitch, because you already follow me on Twitch. I put follow me on YouTube if that's the case. Like, they're separate outsourced medias. Does that make sense? Or I'm probably just talking shit. So we need to trim this, and then we need to move this. So we're gonna select all 4 of these layers. So you just how to make a Streamlabs overlay. Streamlabs is really, I use Streamlabs, and I kind of like it. It's easy to do. I can show you. You can show you how to do it. It's easy to do it. You can easily put it in as a source, or do your stingers. Stingers are easy to do. Most of all this stuff that we're doing is movie based, which is WebM, which is a version, which is like a trimmed down video for web friendly. It's web friendly, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. But that's just a technical thing that you would need to know if you were wanting to do this kind of stuff. But you could easily Google it, or you just ask me. So we've kind of done it. So we've got 4 layers here. We're just gonna these 4 layers that we created, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We're gonna. Am I? No, I'm gonna do it to here. So this is the full timeline. This is it. And this is what we will render out and add in to It's just a technical thing that you need to know. Yeah. When you first start streaming, what is Streamlabs? what is like a video source capture? You're like, what the hell? You've got a game, you've got a mic, you've got camera, you've got light, you've got buttons, you've got music, it's just mental, and you've got to learn to get your head around the actual broadcasting software as well. And then on top of that, you've got to find that niche style that you want to use for your streams as well. So it's like, how do I customize it now? You can go out there and buy these packs, but if you buy them, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. Please go out and buy them if you want that style, But I always think, if I did that, then there's somebody else in Twitch that has the same style as me, and that bugs me out when I see you've got pro Call of Duty players which are branded in their probably team, like you got 100 Thieves and stuff like that, or anybody like that, like they're branded that way. They'll have assets to give to their team members to display on their Twitter for those, because they're sponsored partners, or they're part of like a pro team. You can have those in there and things like that. That's good, but you'll find somebody go, I like that, then create that for that, but that's theirs, that's their niche thing. Like mine's my niche thing, yours is your niche thing. That's and to design that niche thing it can be quite difficult, but it's also actually quite enjoyable to do it. So yeah, so that's our final kind of animation happening. We're actually gonna clip this now. So we're gonna grab the four of them together, and we're gonna group them as one. So we're gonna call this call to action CTA. Oh, why is he doing that? A fucking caps lock, I'm telling you. CTA, Jesus Christ. CTA lower third, because that's what they are. So it comes in. So that's it. So now we can bring up our title safe. It's our title safe. It's got our grid on there. So we've got an eye for where I want to place this. So that's it. Right. This is now grouped, so we can move this anywhere now. If we go into here. So I've found out something, that what you can do is, I'll show you. Now I'm doing this through a key binding, which you can do in Streamlabs. So if I'm just trying to find, I'm just gonna just pause that a second. So if I go, if I just pull this out, you're gonna see everything anyway. So this is this is my Streamlabs, and obviously I've got different what are they, scenes. Starting scene, just chatting for game, and then in there is the source. What you can do is, if you had, I don't know, you click add in source, then go to say media source, which is anything from MP4, anything from this file you can play in a media source. So if you add source, just go add source instead. You go test, I don't know, test whatever. Add source. You're going to go to browse. You're going to browse to the local file. And I'm just going to pick a stinger, which is like a really old thing that I did. You can have this on loop so it constantly does it. So if you leave it off, so this is a media source. So if you click done, what you can do is you could activate just this test, this video, when it comes on. So if you go to settings, you've got hotkeys. Then if you scroll down, because like you're in a profile, you're in a stream, you're in a stream. You're in a scene which has sources. So follow the scene that this is in, say full screen, and you got sources. These are your sources. Look for test. So it might have it. It might not show it unless you actually restart. So in just chatting, no, it's in full screen. Where am I going? Full screen. Right, so here you have. So I've added test, which is the media source. Now I can actually do a hotkey. So I don't know, whatever you want to do. So I don't know, slash. I don't know. Maybe it's backspace. Maybe it's. You can do as many as you want. Maybe it's like exclamation mark, shift 1, maybe. So in shift 1, what happened? It will turn this on, and then we'll always keep it off. But in the settings, yeah, you're in full screen. Is that? I was trying to record two at the same time. So you can add a key binding to that track, if that makes sense. So if you're in just chatting, in your settings, just chatting, you look for just chatting, you'll see, well, it's in full screen anyway. So yeah, that's me, I was right. So I was in full screen before. So, and show test was the video. So if I hit shift 1, it will play the video, and then it will automatically stop that video for you. That's how you do it. But what you can do is I use this now. This is Streamlabs chatbot, and I'm using this like together with key commands. So as you know, you all guys know, you have like exclamation mark, so for pick a track or whatever, or follow X, Y, and Z. What you can do is you can actually use key bindings to paste something into chat, which is like follow me on Twitter, that plays the music and then actually plays the video that you just made. So you could do that. Oh no, somebody's spamming. Get your spam out of here. Want to become famous? No, I don't. So that's one way you can actually do it. But because I'm using the Stream Deck, that's what I'm going to use to actually activate it. I'm gonna delete that shit. But anyway, what was I doing? Yeah. Like as if I'm going to read that shit out. It's just got like... yeah. Just block that shit. You don't want any of your shit on there. I banned him anyway. He's been banned. Take your marketing spiel somewhere else. So this is what we're doing. Yeah, fucking hell, bad hammer. Get the fuck down. It's like, why? What? It's... You know, it's so unhuman for like somebody to go to somebody else's channel and go, oh, check out this. It's really bad. It's like bad etiquette. So you're gonna look at it, and I did it. I made the mistake. I actually read it out loud once. I was like, that. Well, fucking free publicity. It's clever, but you learn it. You learn this shit. You learn it. You learn it. You learn it as you go. So what we were doing. So we've got it's all there. We just need to shrink it down. There's two ways you can shrink it down. One is you open it and you press scale and you transform it down. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to scale it down like that. I want to scale it a better way. And the best way to do that is if you click new, the null object, then grab this pick whip and take the CTA. So move this pick whip from CTA lower third and anchor it to null object. So from the null object, you press P, you move the position. You're actually moving the whole thing at the same time, which is really handy because like, you can actually go, I'll scale it. So it's actually quite less destructive. So this is where oh no, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Wow, for everybody sticking around. What could be better than me jibber jabbering on about design stuff? But I'm just trying to move this somewhere I might want. Let's turn off the title save for a minute. So we've got this black box here. So it kind of like comes in now. And then goes. It comes out, comes in. And then disappears. And it's relatively in a good position. It's just nice and small just down there. I don't need it like too big. So I'm going to take this, and now I have a template to use going forward for every... Yeah, we'll give it a follow. Well, we're already following. Nice Rebel. What was I doing? So yeah, so we've got to animate this. This has got to eject this out of here so we can use it in our stream. And we wanted to do it so when we actually post something in chat, it actually plays. So right, first of all, to render it out, we've got a background on. We're just going to have to hide the background transparency because we want to render this with a transparency background because this is going to go over our stream. So we're going to go to File. We're going to export this. I'm going to export this to Add Media Encoder. Media Encoder is from Apple. Not Apple, Adobe. And it has like a boatload of presets in there, so it takes half the crap out of your head that you need to do. I'll just quickly show you. So this is MIDI encoder. This is what we're looking to render out. Open file location is where you want to save it. So I'm gonna go file, I'm gonna go streaming, I'm gonna go icon assets, I'm gonna go Twitter, Twitter banner. So that's where it's going to be saved. It's not that one, it's this one. Lower thirds, which is desktop. Where do I want it? Streaming, icon assets. We'll put lower thirds, that's what we called it. We're going to change the match source to keep it as the same, actually. Don't need to worry about that. Click on this, H.265. This is the codec. So these are all codecs that get spat out, which are like MPEG-4, ACC, AIF, animated GIFs. We're going to choose WebM. WebM is better to use in Streamlabs or OBS. It's reduced file size. It is a lighter file size, and it's web ready because that's what we're streaming to. In our settings, we are just going to go. It's going to go down to the low thirds. We don't need to worry about audio. We want to do 2-pass sampling out. I think we can leave those as what we want. Don't need to worry about those too much. The only thing that you need to worry about is use maximum rendering settings. We're going to go for work area. We're going to go entire composition. So the entire composition. So it should. Well, that's the work area. So we're only doing it to the work area. So it goes on and it goes off. So this is just the work area. That's where this is. So this grey bar is the work area. You could trim to work area. So you could have that as the whole of the work area, which from start to finish, that's it. So you could actually end up going match source, which is the same, H.264. You're gonna go entire work area, Actually, no, I won't do that. File, export this to MIDI encoder. This is because I've made a change. I made a change to the size of it. Streaming. Right. I've got two now. Remove one of them. Match source. Change this. Why does it always have to connect to the goddamn internet? It's going to take it down to M.4, which is the format. We're going to use the maximum render settings. Click OK. We're going to make sure it exit out to our folder that we want to do it, which is streaming, and it is streams. Nope. Streams. What? Oh, icon assets. Just going to save it there. And then to check. So this, there you go. Entire work composition. Fucked it. Comes on, goes off. to double check it. Use maximum settings, and we're just gonna hit render. It's gonna hit render on it, which is just a green play button, and it's just gonna go through and just render that out while we wait. That's done. Well, excuse me, don't mean to yawn. I'm not boring myself. So we've rendered that out now. So we want to add this into our stream assets. So let's do it on just chatting. So we are going to display capture. So we're going to add a media source. I'm just going to call this CTA, call to action. I'm going to browse where we've just rendered that out. Oh, the reason why it's black is because I forgot to render it out in transparency, which is really stupid. So we just reset status, WebM, imaging, effects, the audio. Where is it? Where's the render an alpha map? Codec. Oh, make sure you check this. Include alpha channel. So the alpha channel is the checkerboard. So if you can see this checkerboard, then that's the alpha. If you rendered it out like this, you'd have the background on there. But if you rendered with alpha, this is what you're going to get out, just this. So just make sure you do that. Don't be a dick. Don't do what I just did. Got it lower thirds too, because 22. Cause I'm a designer. I don't know. So yes, that did it do it? Did it? Okay, it's doing it. It's rendering. So as it's doing it, as the blue bar goes along. Yep, so that's done. Just knock that back. Let's just give it a quick check. Just trying to find it now. Alright, pictures, videos. Desktop. No. Streaming. Icon assets. 2/3. So yeah, it was on then. So that's it. So I'm going to go back into Streamlabs. We've got a CTA, which we added in as a source. Then browse for the lower thirds. So now we've rendered it with the transparency. You can see that it comes on. So turning it on and off helps it come on. But we can improve that a little bit more in the animation, because you can see in the animation in Streamlabs it puts these kind of lines on there. So we're gonna turn the background on a bit so we know what we're doing. We're going to motion blur everything. So we're going into each of the animations, and we're just making motion blurs set. You can see the motion blur happening. So you see as that kind of like little bit of animation. That's all on. It's going to go through those, turn those all on. Yeah, so that's that. We're going to take it again, take the background off. Now we've got this motion blur in there. We're going to render this out. It's a file, export. There we go, forgotten it. File, export. Why is it doing? Why is it not letting me do it? File, export, add to media encoder, which is the Adobe one. This is the wife. The wife texting. In our settings, we just need to make sure that we are making sure that effects, though, basic video, encoder settings, bitrate advanced, use maximum render settings. Click OK. Change this to WebM because you won't do it otherwise. And WebM, you can actually put the opacity in there. Why is that doing that? Let's just cancel that. It's what sometimes bugs me about Adobe stuff. You go backwards and forwards all the fucking time. It's like I spend half the time looking for like half the shit in there. I was just making sure. I was trying to find this little thing in here, which was like include alpha channel, use media encoder, quality render settings, bump up the setting to 100 quality. Let's just put this somewhere, which is streaming, icon assets, lower the 22, just put it lower the 23, because we're designers and we just call things everything untitled, because that's what we do. And then just render that bad boy out. It takes a little bit longer when you've got the blur, the motion blur added on there. So that's done. Don't forget to save the work that you've done in After Effects. Let's jump back into Streamlabs. We've got our CTA added. I'm going to click the gear icon. I'm going to browse to the new one, which is 23. I'm going to click done. It's on. It's that little bit better now. So that's our CTA. So we're going to keep it hidden off. And we're just going to lock it. We're just going to lock everything. Because you just don't want to move anything on here. So if I'm just going to move this back over to the left. And we've got stream chatbot I use now, and we've got some commands, and one of them is what moderators can do. So I can go !Twitter and that will post into the chat with some music, which is only temporary. This is just to make sure it works. So I paste that in. A follow me on Twitter will come on, and then what I wanted to happen was to actually have that animation come in. So how do we do that? So we're using the Elgato Stream Deck, and this is the Stream Deck. So we want to press one key. We want it to post a message into chat. We want it to play a sound effect, and we want it to play the animation that comes in on the bottom left of the screen, which says follow. So we're just going to pick an empty box here. It might be better in bigger screen. So here we are. We're going to click on an empty space. We're going to use this one up here. We're going to go into, let's close all these. So here's like some of the custom ones I've started, like recording, starting, stopping. We've got some little sound effects, some like background, be right back music. We've got open clip, edit clip, and then we've got this follow, Discord, Twitter, and portfolio, which posts out a message to chat for me with just one button. So what we want to do is we want to click create in Stream Deck. We want to go multi-action and drag that in. Right, in the multi-action, we want to post a message. So we're going to go Streamlabs. No, we're not. We're going to go Twitch. We're going to drag chat message over to here. And then we're going to go Twitter. Then we're going to go, it's from Reaper's Lantern, which is me. And the message is !Twitter. So this will post a message in chat with !Twitter, because it's a command that I've set up in my chat bot. So one button press. Oh, 1 second. Oh yeah, sorry, I turned to the door. So yeah, one button, send a message into chat, play the fucking video. That's what. So we need to play some media. So what we need to do is look in Streamlabs OBS, and we've got a thing called Source. Yeah, all good. I was having a green screen delivered. And it wasn't supposed to come till tomorrow, but it's come today. Twitter, then we're gonna drag in our source, and our source is I'm just gonna call it CTA, and then we're gonna say active, and it falls in the, what scene is it? It's in just chatting, because that's where we are, and the source is CTA. So that's how we do that action. So we've now created, just with the simple clicks, we created a button here in our Stream Deck, which is gonna send a message to chat and then play the video. So we can try it if it works. So there you go. So it posted the chat in. It's then played the music, which is added to the message in chat, and now it plays the animation off to the on an overlay. So it's always on in your Streamlabs, in your Streamlabs sources. It's always on. So it's always here. It's always on down here. And then as you turn it on, the CTA will come in and do its thing. So that's how easy it is to add a CTA or a very small animation to your Twitter, to your Facebook, not Twitter, Twitch, to your Twitch live streams, those little call to actions, that little bit of I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm this and that and the other, just a visual way, and also having that in chat as well. So it's relatively took us about 4 hours to do. I'd probably say a bit longer. But now we've got this. Now we have this animation. We've got it for Facebook, YouTube. We got it for. We use the same asset now all the time because it's simple to make. You can do it. It's easy to make. I know I dart everywhere and stuff, but try and make one. If you need me to come and dip in and help you out, and by all means I will do that. So yeah, we have this nice little animation. So I now have one button, one finger, press on that, it posts it in, and the message took a little bit later to happen, but yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you turn it on and off. I might just, for the moment, I might double go in there, and I might just remove that in. Well, basically what I was thinking is just removing the chat and just basically clicking on the button, which should start the animation, because I thought, oh, hang on, there's a little bit of a delay. See, it's not coming up now. And I think that's just that is just me because I broke it. So there you go. And it should go off. It's just making sure, like, if you hit it the first time, it goes off. But I think I know what it is. I know what the problem is. Well, the problem is that this is your CTA, and when you actually click the button, I'll keep clicking create last clip. Don't even know what half my buttons are. It doesn't do it. So I think it's only when it's off in your Streamlabs does it work. So it turns it on, see, then it goes off. So what I think needs to do is put this in a folder called CTA folder, something original, drag that into the folder, turn that off, but turn the folder off, press the button again, that'll do that. Then it'll go away. If I press it again, it won't fucking do it. So I think it's not a Streamlabs thing. I'm gonna sneeze. Woo. I was gonna sneeze then. I'm just trying to brainstorm like why doesn't it do it in the CTA file? Why doesn't it do it in Streamlabs? I think it always has to be off for it to be turned on, which I get. So turn it turns it on, but then how do you turn it? So I think in here, this chain of events is turn it on, wait for it to play, then turn it off by itself. So you can add a delay. We put 2000 milliseconds. So it comes on. Do I make this bigger? So you can see. Brainstorming. So it turns it on, put a delay, then Streamlabs OBS soundtrack, Streamlabs OBS. Maybe I've got the wrong one. Streamlabs OBS. It's a source. That's alright. It's green. Then I'm going to set it to deactive. So activate, turn on, wait, turn off. You want it to wait because like, as soon as you press play, you want it to play. You don't want it to go play off straight away. So put a delay of 2000 milliseconds and then it's going to go off. Reaper's Lantern starting to use just testing and it's a CTA. So if I press the button now, so it turns it on. See how quick that was? Maybe 8,000 milliseconds. So press the button, it comes on. It goes away. It's still, and then it goes off. So 7,000 milliseconds. So, oh man, press clip again. I don't know how many clips I've got now of myself. So press it on, turn it on, it's waiting. And then it goes off. Could probably narrow this down a bit more, this delay. It's 6,000 milliseconds. Right, press play. It comes in, it animates in. It's time for it to go away. And then it goes off. So I think that's a nice way. So now every time I press it, it has to run that animation, then do that delay, then it goes off. So if I want to press it again, it's always gonna work. But I have that adding that message to chat as I do it, which is Twitter. It's not Twitter, it's Twitch, it's chat message. It's chat message, put the chat message before CTA and it's Twitter. And that's just exclamation mark Twitter. This isn't Adobe Photoshop. So this is oh, hi Barack Barack Obama. Nice. This is Elgato Stream Deck interface, and behind that was After Effects. So we were just doing a design in After Effects for like a lower third CTA. We were just animating it in, and we just put it in Streamlabs now. So I wanted to press one button for it to come on to be shown in my Twitch, play some music as well. No, it's just Adobe After Effects. This is. I've used Premiere Pro and Adobe Final Cut, but this is purely just After Effects, just for the animation that we've been creating today. Do you use both or? Which one do you use? Because there's no pro version in After Effects. I'm glad there isn't. Premiere, After Effects. There's Premiere Pro, which is video editing, and then there's After Effects, which is like animation editing, but you can use them. Animations in one, video in the other. Bring the animations over to the video, merge them together. Final output is your Premiere Pro, or you could just do it all in After Effects. I mean, I only make sure. I mean, I will use Adobe Premiere Pro for my YouTube videos when I compile them, but After Effects for animations like this. I've got that throat today. I don't know what it is. Like something's just stuck here all day. And I've got a comb and I haven't got hair. I don't know why I've got a comb in here. So yeah, so this is what we've done. We've made one button now that I can press. So it's Illustrator InDesign. So there are a handful of Adobe products. We've got Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro, and a bunch of other ones. So that's the Adobe family. I use Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere Pro. I use Affinity Designer for all my vector graphics, and I'll use Photoshop for photo editing, purely for that. And I'm moving away from Photoshop and I'm moving over into Affinity Designer. Yeah, Adobe XD. I use Adobe XD every day. Yeah, they have a massive handful. Like whatever plan, I don't know. My plan is through my work. Just use that. But I use Adobe XD every day. That's like my staple go-to. Yeah, my go-to bit of software. That's what I use. I'll tell you what, Adobe DC. My wallpaper is the Adobe table dice. I don't mind, you know what? I don't mind Adobe products, but it's just expensive. They are expensive. My wallpaper. No, I don't do that. It's the business. It's the company I work for. It's their license. But like, why would you do that anyway? So why would you can get better software, which is better than Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop, which is like £24 for life. That's it. Or $24 for life with free updates. That's it. Hey, I've been using Adobe for 15 years, and it's a personal preference. I just don't like I don't like Illustrator. I'll flip a table using Illustrator. And Photoshop is a bloated old lady. Yeah, Illustrator's me. I don't like it. I've had more fun out of using Affinity Designer. I'm not kidding. I'm not affiliated by them. They're not sponsored me. They've done it right. That's what they've done. Microsoft Paint. Oh, those are the days. Those were the days. Microsoft Paint. I bet people still use that now. I'm sure they still do. I bet somebody's still around that actually uses it. Like, why not? That's... If it does... Do I have a Cybertruck? What's a Cybertruck? Is that what typical designers have? I'm English, so I don't know what is it. Let me have a Google. Imagine one of them by Tesla. I wish I had a Cybertruck. They look pretty good. But you imagine it with a computer. Yeah. I can see how that works. I can see it. Alright, what were we doing with this anyway? I think we've come to the end of that. So we've made this. We've now incorporated it into nice overlay. So if we're in game mode, this is where we are in game mode. This is what I call game mode. We want to add that same action into here. So we just need to add the source into, which is a CTA, which is already in. There we go. It does it. It's in, and then it should go off. So hopefully, if I press the same button, it won't work because I messed it up. So this is where it was. The CTA is, you'd have to have like, because it's in just chatting, and it'll only happen in which scene that you're in. So it's in just chatting, it has to be changed to game. So you're just going to have multiple ones of this across the board. I haven't slightly found out how you can actually just do one across everywhere. Is this the... What do you mean? As in... no idea. Is it a design related question? So yeah, you're gonna have to have like different ones for different scenes that you've set out. So it starts, there's a delay, how long it plays, and then it turns itself off. So it should. So yeah, there you go, it works. What do you mean? No, CTA is call to action. That's what a CTA is. But it's abbreviated for many different things. So we're designing a call to action because that is a call to action. Follow Reaper's Lantern. So that's what we were designing today. I didn't know it was called that. Yeah, it can mean that. Oh, I'm guessing CTA means a lot of things. I'm guessing it does. But this is what we were designing today, was a call to action. So that's what we've been designing today, and that's what we've done. So we can now use this asset for everything else. So whether we want a Discord icon in there, we can easily swap that out for a Discord icon. We can also change the text and font. So we've got it set up so it's very universal across any kind of medium that we want to use it in, whether that's YouTube, whether that's Twitter. Thanks, mate. This is for myself. This is for my stream, for when I'm streaming. This is for any YouTube videos that I create, whether it's like tutorials like this. This is the first one today. Just getting into it. But we'll have them, like the videos, up in YouTube anyway, and we'll have these call to actions in there because that's what we're kind of doing. No, leave that to the professionals. I have played with it in After Effects, but I'm not that kind of animator. I'm just like not a fully fledged motion graphic artist. Just an interface designer that likes nice things and nicely done things. That's all I do. If I had the camera to do that. Yeah, I think I've seen one streamer use it, or one YouTuber, and it tracks along your face. Maybe one day I'll get there. I mean, these are just like small little things that we're just improving to the stream. So yeah, maybe it's a thing. Maybe that's what people want. But I don't know. Just solid on your face. If you do all this, I don't think you're going to move that far around. You're going to move this. This is where your microphone is. I don't not agree with motion tracking on your camera if it works, if that's your thing. But I have to kind of stay where my mic is. So I'm this. You can DM me anything, and then I'll check it. So that's what I'm losing track. So that's what we've done. We've kind of come up with our design. We've kind of thought about our design, what we wanted to put in. We've come up with some ideas that were really shit. These are the ideas that we've come up with. And then we've looked at it, made it simpler, that we can use and we can animate in. We've taken that into After Effects. We've keyframed it all in. Probably do some fine tweaking, but I think I'm happy with that. I mean, let's see how long this lasts with me. But you know, if you guys are watching me, you'll see it upgrade. We can basically use that going for any kind of media stream or anything like that. So yeah, so that's what we've done, and we've added it into After Effects. I think like this is a bot. Moderators got involved. I'll just give the moderator a slap. But yeah, this is it. Reaper's Deathbot come down. So that's it. I mean, you know, it's the first streamer doing this. Gonna do another one tomorrow. But I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, we'll just do it. We're just gonna design some stuff, ask help questions. I'll have a look at your artwork. I don't mind. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope, you know, it's something that, you know, intrigues you or anything like that, or, you know, it's helping you do your stream designs or anything like that. Or if you want to see anything that will help you, just let me know. DM me what you're stuck on or anything. I'll do a video about it. We'll do live, you know, do it together, you know, help. I'm here to support you if you're just starting out, and obviously, you know, have successful assets, you know, a successful looking stream, and, you know, do whatever I can to support you guys. So I know it's only like a little stream today. It's only about 3-4 hours long. I'm definitely back on tomorrow. Try and do a bigger, longer stream. Recap of what we've done, what we created. See if I've come up with some other ideas. Look at other things that we can do in our stream. No worries, meow. See what else we can do in our stream to improve it. And yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for all the tips and for the questions as well. I do appreciate it. I now have to go off and feed the dogs and set up some content for tomorrow for you guys. So I'll give you a shout out, and thanks for the raid, meow. I always appreciate it. And thanks for sticking around, guys. I really appreciate it. So I might have to turn Spotify off, maybe. That's the thing. So there you go. So Spotify is now off. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys. I do appreciate it. Take care.